But 3 more days until we can get that bad taste out of our mouth. Hopefully the good flavors start tomorrow on Thanksgiving when you enjoy your Thanksgiving Day dinners and you watch the rest of the slate. And hopefully we watch the Cowboys lose because that will make everybody feel a little bit better tomorrow. But we got one more day to sort of talk about what went down on Sunday. Johnny, good morning. How you doing
Let's have a great first segment for Ricky Bo as he goes out to get his coffee. He's already checked in.
Yeah,
this
Ricky
morning.
from KOP, big listener of the show.
Ricky from KOP is out there, and we appreciate all our early listeners, our YouTubers, and everybody joining us on the eve of Black Friday.
No, the eve of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but we have to just sort of
You already screwed up, so Ricky's now pissed off because you already screwed up. All right, so there has been a lot of 2023 talk over the course of the season, as you guys know. And it's
for good reason.
It started when we had Jeremy Fowler on after both the Vikings lost, the losses to the Broncos and the Giants. And then they bounced back and beat the Vikings and Giants. But after those 2 losses, Jeremy Fowler of ESPN did say that there was a player in the locker room that started getting sort of those vibes of 2023, right?
Yes.
And it wasn't, oh, my God, we're here. It's starting to get that sense a little bit. We need to sort of end that right away. And the good news is
we need to cut this off.
They beat the Vikings. They beat the Giants. They go into the bye week. So the 2023 talking points disappeared, right? Especially because that Giants game, the last game before the bye week, the offense put together their best effort all season. I understand that there were a lot of people that pointed out, well, it was just the Giants. I didn't give a damn. I just needed to see life, right? I needed to see a heartbeat from the Eagles offense, and we finally got it that game. We go into the bye week. We know the history of Nick Sirianni following a bye. He has never lost a game after the bye. They go out there to Lambeau. They beat the Packers. The offense looks like crap. But you kind of excuse it, I guess.
What?
Kind of.
Why?
Well, you said it. Oh, you went into Lambeau. It was a good win against a good team.
It's great, but you don't then put into it. You just say, hey, that's more as you're fortunate to have escaped.
And then you do the same thing against the Detroit Lions, where you scored 16 points. And now all of a sudden, 2023 whispers come back out. Why? Not because of just the way the offense has looked and the team has looked, but also the drama. You have the A.J. Brown stuff on social media, A.J. Brown stuff on Twitch, potentially A.J. Brown leaking things to members of the media.
And that, by the way, that is all speculation on my part.
Sure.
And that's just me speculating, but I feel good about the speculation.
Yeah. I
feel good about it.
I don't think you're destined for a padded room for having that opinion.
I think that's
John.
pretty good speculation.
So 2023 comes back up, and then you have the loss of the Dallas Cowboys, where everything that you have been worried about, especially with the offense, the only thing that's reversed in this script is that it's the offense that's the problem and not the defense. Because in 2023, the offense was winning you games because they had to score 30 points. It was the defense that was sort of the cause of worry, the cause of concern, until the offense just couldn't do it anymore. Is there going to be a point where the defense just can't do it anymore, just continuously win football games for you when you're going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out at a historic rate? 1984 is a date that I read this morning.
Okay, tell me this one.
I saw it from
I remember the 84 season.
I saw it from Benjamin Solak.
I was a sophomore in college.
Well, it wasn't the Eagles. It was the Denver Broncos.
Okay,
but
so
the
it's
Denver
that long
Broncos went 13-3 that year.
Yeah.
So it's amazing, right? Like a team that went 13-3 had this sort of rate of 3 and outs where 30% of your drives are going 3 and out. That's horrible. 30%.
That's bad. Yeah, it's really bad.
So I have a question today for everybody, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to lighten up the mood. No.
Or
This question
is it anxious right now?
This question is not fun. The question is filled with angst, but we will have fun over the course of the show.
So we're going to have a fun, angstful day.
Yeah. We got the Thanksgiving topics on,
It's angsty.
Hand. I'm going to ask this question, not whether or not you think this is 2023. All right? I'm going to spin the question in a different way, one way that I don't think has been discussed yet in the Philadelphia media. All right, so I'm proud of us for doing this today, John.
I'm proud of you bringing it up.
It is November 26th. All right? November 26th of 2023 was the day the Eagles beat the Buffalo Bills in overtime, improving their record to 10-1.
All right.
November 26th of 2024 was 2 days after the Eagles beat the Rams in Los Angeles and were then preparing to play the Baltimore Ravens. And remember, before the season started, I think everybody doing W's and L's thought split 1-1.
No,
Rams, Ravens.
Absolutely.
Like that's a tough stretch.
Yes.
They'll win one of those games, they'll lose one of those games.
I absolutely thought that was going to end up being a split.
Here's how I'm spinning the topic a different way instead of just saying, are you worried that there's 2023 feels? Both teams in 23 and 24 went in complete opposite directions after November 26th. November 26th, Eagles beat the Bills, and then they lose 3 straight, 5 out of their last 6 in the regular season, and then the playoff game, they lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. After November 26th in 2024, the Eagles won 5 out of their last 6. And then, of course, their 4 playoff wins en route to a Super Bowl.
I get where you're going.
So my question for everybody today, it's 610-632-0975. Is the best football for the Philadelphia Eagles in 2025 ahead of us or behind us? Because in 23, it was clearly behind them.
Okay.
24, it was clearly ahead of them.
Okay, may I ask you, does the competition matter to you when you answer this question? Because I believe if you're going to judge it by that, the best is ahead of them. But I think it might be cosmetic.
Were the Seattle Seahawks, New York Giants, Arizona Cardinals, New York Giants all that good in 2023? Because they weren't.
No, they weren't. But the thing is, I'm still saying I'm just dealing with this year. You're asking me about this year.
Sure.
I don't know what I'm going to learn when you're playing in your 4 or 5 last games. You're playing the Commanders twice, the Raiders.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to be able to say, well, man, they're so much better. They fixed everything when they're playing terrible football teams. So I do believe the answer is yes. The best football is yet to be played. But I'm going to be looking at it going, yeah, but what is it? What did it look like against really good teams? And those games were harem scare.
Well, let me ask you something. What were you saying at halftime this past Sunday?
At halftime this past Sunday, I thought that they would be I believed they were going to win that game, but I believed it was going to be ugly.
Okay.
And I was nervous from the time they gave up the touchdown going into halftime.
Sure.
I was not happy.
I just love that it was cosmetically pleasing for the first time in a long time.
No,
Since
I liked the first quarter.
Before the week before the bye week when the Eagles beat the Giants and put together 4 quarters of an offensive performance.
See, I liked the first quarter. I didn't like almost anything else.
Sure.
I thought I thought the second quarter stunk. I couldn't believe that they played so passive to give them a touchdown before halftime, that they played that soft zone that just gave up yardage. And then I couldn't believe that they gave up before halftime when they had 2 timeouts. And all you got to do is do 2 good, nice completions, and you got a chance to get a field goal. You could have gone in 24-7. That's a totally different game. And they rolled over again. They do too much give up. So, to me, the best football, though, Andrew, is absolutely yet to be played.
All right, we're not doing this.
By the way, and it starts Friday.
I would love to see that.
No, it starts Friday.
This is not like you say one thing, I say the other. I don't feel that way. And here's my biggest concern. I kind of hinted at it a couple of minutes ago. In 2023, the Eagles' offense was able to win a lot of games, right?
That is correct.
And they had to score 34 points against Minnesota in order to win, 34 points against the Commanders in order to win, 31 points against the Dolphins, 38 against the Commanders, 28 against the Cowboys. Like, they had to put up the points that they put up in order to win those games. 37 against the Buffalo Bills because the defense was that bad.
Okay.
But the problem is at one point, the Eagles' offense just couldn't do it anymore. How many more weeks can I expect the Eagles' defense to keep teams to below 10 points?
Okay.
They didn't do it last week.
I get you, and I get where you're at. I think, how about this? As pleasantly as possible, first segment, I think you're nuts.
Thank you.
I think you're nuts.
That's nice.
But I think you're nuts. But I'm saying as nicely as possible. Didn't I just
especially because it's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
That's a nice way. With all due respect, I hate you. But I say with all due respect.
With all due respect, yeah, you're nuts.
All right, Connor, I want to hear from you on this next.
Hi.
Is the best football ahead of us or behind us? November 26th is a big date.
It
where
is.
The 2023 Eagles went one way And the 2024 Eagles went the other. Let's hope it's more like 2024. Coming up next, every week where someone is asked about the comparison of 2023, every local reporter that is in the locker room says no. Until maybe yesterday. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Eagles or ahead of the Eagles. It is Kincade Salciunas here on this Wednesday morning, the eve of Thanksgiving. Adam Schefter will be joining us coming up at 7:55. Andrew DeCecco for the final 2 hours of the show. I just saw a John on our YouTube chat saying that the midday show and afternoon shows take shots at the morning show over the Patullo takes all the time. It's absurd.
Look, here's what he needs to know. It's okay to be wrong. Because you know what is one difference between us and them a lot is our show, we gladly tell you when we're wrong.
Yes.
And some of the other shows, it's a little harder for them to just say they're wrong. I heard the example being given again. The Eagles passed all the time during the second half. All you got to do is watch. They didn't pass anything comparable to the first half. They were passing, but it was more dump-offs. It was not an aggressive passing game. It was a not scripted passing game, which obviously is part of it.
Yep.
And so it's all right. And by the way, we have no problem. At least I'm speaking for me. I have no problem with they can take any shot they want. They're entitled because we take shots all the time.
Yeah.
That's what this business does.
I just wonder because Bill did say he would change play callers.
He did.
In passing the other day.
He did.
I wonder if, if the energy is still there.
Or
was that a slip?
I don't know if it was, and I know we wouldn't do anything that would be clickbait.
No, of course he
that
wouldn't.
That wouldn't be,
rage bait.
They would rage bait.
Rage bait.
That's the word. It's rage bait.
All right. Is the best football ahead or behind the Eagles? The reason why I asked that question, November 26th, 2023, the Eagles beat the Bills in overtime, then went 1-5 the rest of the way.
Oof.
November 26th was 2 days after the Eagles beat the Rams in L.A. in 2024, and then they went 5-1 the rest of the way. Complete opposites. First round exit.
Sure.
No round exit. The only exit was getting back onto the plane to go parade down Broad Street. Complete opposite. 610-632-0975.
This is an interesting. This is worth having a poll question.
Damn right it is. We'll actually have a poll for once. That's great.
There you go.
All right. Yesterday, Tim McManus was on Middays with Marks. And Johnny Marks at one point, it was actually a really interesting conversation. I was driving home, and you could hear Tim. It was a great question by Johnny Marks because Tim was sort of talking about the offense. He's blamed the coaching recently more so than the players.
Gotcha.
He's blamed the play caller more recently than the players.
Gotcha.
Tim McManus, not us.
This is
Tim McManus. And then at one point, and it's great because I'm glad Johnny Marks is so good at his job because he kind of was hearing the exact same thing I was hearing listening when I was driving. And you've probably done it where you're saying, "Ask this question."
Ask this. Yes.
Like you're hoping they get to the point.
Yes, get to it.
And John finally gets to, "Hey Tim, by the way, like just based off of your tone, it almost feels like you're worried that it could kind of fall apart on him."
And by the way, he picked Dallas last week.
This was
on John's show. He picked Dallas to beat the Eagles before, like in last week.
All the smart people did that.
Well, there you go. Except when you did our parlay with us, when you cowered out.
This was Tim McManus on Middays with Marks yesterday when finally asked, "Hey, are you worried?"
A little bit. I mean, the schedule softens up for them. They still have a couple. They have the Raiders game. They have a couple against Washington. I'm not expecting it to go like a 6 of 7 like it did.
Huh.
But
6-7.
they are in a position where this is a gettable time if you're the opponent looking at them right now. One, because the offense still hasn't found its stride, and two, because they have suffered some injuries now.
Yep.
And you're looking at, all right, is Adoree Jackson going to be available because he suffered the concussion? Andrew Makuba with the fracture. It looks like his season is in jeopardy. And so now you have different moving parts. And as Dallas showed you in that second half, when that happens, that they're obviously not going to be as buttoned up as you were. So it makes this Friday's game very interesting against an 8-3 Chicago Bears team. I don't think anybody thought would be 8-3. And it doesn't look like, they don't feel like an 8-3 team, kind of similar to the Eagles. But at the same time, they've had that gumption of figuring out these one-score games. And I look back to just earlier in the season when they suffered that loss against Denver. They had the short week against the Giants, and they put forth the worst performance of the season against a bad Giants team, and they got blown out at MetLife. Now they have a short week to get it right, to bounce back and sort of lick their wounds and make sure that doesn't happen again. I think that's a critical storyline to watch. It's like, do they have the bounce back ability? The first time they lost, the answer was no. Is it different this time around?
He wasn't really giving a ringing endorsement for the Eagles.
No, that
there.
gives you a little bit of a reason for pause because Tim's is not a clickbait guy.
No, he said the Bears don't feel like an 8-3 team, and then he paused and said, and neither do the Eagles.
That is the one thing I think I'm going to disagree with is because if I look at the Bears' resume, if you say the Bears don't feel like an 8-3 team, somebody can make the point and go, look at the Bears' wins and go, yeah, that doesn't feel like a legit 8-3 team.
Right, whereas the Eagles have had some pretty impressive wins.
No, the Eagles have the most impressive resume in the NFC. So they have the most impressive resume of wins in the NFC. So to me, you can't say that about the Eagles. That's the only part of Tim's assessment that I would disagree with.
Deontay on our YouTube chat, Eagles get the benefit of the doubt. They also played the toughest teams on their schedule.
There you go.
How they look against Chicago and Buffalo will tell us a lot, to be honest. So you heard Tim McManus there. He was kind of the first local reporter that didn't give a ringing endorsement or the flat-out answer of, no, I don't feel that way.
Right.
Because we've gotten that a lot. Dave Zangaro yesterday. Andrew DeCecco numerous times with us.
Sure.
Tim McManus was kind of the first local reporter that was like, I don't know if this just gets turned around. Is the best football behind us or ahead of us? 610-632-0975. We'll check our text line for the first time coming up next. Also, Kevin Patullo spoke to the media yesterday. Patullo was the play caller, but how involved is Nick Sirianni? He answered that yesterday. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
I can tell you tomorrow, I should say Friday because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Friday is going to be fantastic at the True Fan Tailgate. I'll be there hosting it as the Eagles take on the Bears this Friday, November 28th. It's an awesome tailgate and experience that you're going to love with Philly Sports Trips and 97.5 The Fanatic. All-inclusive food and drinks, live entertainment, special guests, former players, a sea of Birds fans, all getting pumped up before kickoff. And the best part, it is a short walk to the link. We're going to be there. I'm going to be hosting the event, giving away prizes, getting everyone fired up for game time. Plus, part of every ticket purchase goes to the Eagles Autism Foundation, so you'll be tailgating for a great cause. It's the third of 4 True Fan tailgates that we're hosting this season, so if you can't make it this Friday, grab your spot now for the Raiders game in December before they sell out. Go to phillysportstrips.com for tickets. That's phillysportstrips.com. They host the True Fan Tailgate. The only way to pregame is with True Fan Travel and 97.5 The Fanatic. It's going to be awesome. I hear even Andrew and his dad may show up. My daughter and I are going to enjoy all the festivities, and you are too. It's going to be a great Friday. The weather's going to be fine, but bundle up. Oh, by the way, it's back in black. So wear your black. It's going to be a great time. We'll see you on Friday afternoon.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Eagles' first injury report. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles put out their first injury report of the week ahead of their Black Friday matchup with the Bears. With the short week, it was only an estimation based on a walkthrough, but in addition to the Lane Johnson and Drew Makuba injuries, Devontae Smith was listed as a non-participant with a shoulder/chest injury. That'd be bad news for an Eagles offense that need to get things going. But it's not just the passing game. Kevin Patullo met with media yesterday and talked about the run game struggles and trying to get Saquon going.
We're trying pretty much anything and everything we can to find ways to get him going. I know the guys are excited for something new this week, see if we can get it going. And we know it's not going to be like last year. We just got to find our way this year and really work through it.
Something new this week would be something that we haven't really seen all season, so we'll see if that pops up on Friday. There will be a lot of stuff to watch for ahead of the Eagles matchup with the Bears. Nick Sirianni meets with the media today at 11:50 a.m. Sixers got crushed by the Magic last night, 144-103. They gave up 86 first-half points. That's not great defense, folks. They're off till Friday. Flyers take on the Panthers tonight down in Florida. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Adam Schefter joins us coming up at 7:55. Andrew DeCecco joins the show from the 8 o'clock hour till the end. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Despite wintry conditions and heavy traffic, holidays must go on. That's why Mercedes-Benz SUVs come with the latest safety technology. Find incredible offers at the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic.
So I made a major mistake in parenting.
What was your major mistake? Because, by the way, you just start making your list because you will make them.
Of what I did wrong.
And then you know what's funny is your child will jokingly tell you the rest of your life, like, what? Yeah, you missed on that one. Dad.
Yeah, so this goes back a couple of months.
Okay.
And it's just getting worse and worse.
What's the problem?
It was a when mom was away weekend.
Ooh, what variants did you make for your kid that you shouldn't have?
Dude, just use your sleeve. I don't need a napkin.
No, come on.
Bro,
Come on,
you can't be
dude.
doing that.
Did you really do that? Come on.
Just use your sleeve, bro. It's all good.
What? Like, did you do that just jokingly? Or did you do that where did you actually say it?
So I think it was like he had water on his chin. It wasn't like
water's okay.
It wasn't like grease and like.
Well, then water's okay.
Yeah, but now he thinks
He's 3. He doesn't know the difference.
exactly.
Oh,
now
boy.
he thinks like if anything is on his cheek or his chin, let me just use my sleeve. And
Did he tell mom that you told him it's okay to do that?
she picked up on that right away.
Well, I would imagine she did.
But the thing is, like, it's amazing how I tell him to do something one time, and he does it. But when I tell him to stop doing something 100 times, he doesn't stop.
It's because they're going to do what they want to do. And when you give them permission to do something that's easy, that's a cheat code, they're going to do it, and they're going to do it over and over again. And that's a big error.
It's bad work.
Christy, though, that she'll forgive you eventually.
We'll see.
You're doing laundry for the next month.
I already do it. We were FaceTiming during the break, and he just finished brushing his teeth. And immediately he wipes with his sleeve. I'm like, dude, stop.
And what did mom say? Did mom say anything?
Your fault.
Your fault, Dad.
All right. Kevin Patullo spoke to the media yesterday.
It's always riveting when Kevin speaks.
Yeah.
Gosh, he's riveting.
I think my son will be able to start using a napkin before Kevin Patullo can start figuring out how to call plays. Is that wrong?
That's not bad.
It might not be wrong.
No, it might not be.
So yesterday, he was asked about Nick Sirianni's involvement during the game. Remember, there has been a lot of speculation.
Right?
Hey, how does the play calling duties go? Now, remember, a lot of people were pro Patullo promotion because he's been around.
Oh, yeah, because that's what we were told.
He's helped on game day.
He's helped on game day, which is great.
He's
That's
a part
really funny.
of the play calling.
Yeah, he's part of it.
All those things about Kevin Patullo.
He's part of it.
And, of course, we've also given him, at times, the benefit of the doubt that maybe Sirianni is just pushing the wrong buttons at the wrong time, too. Maybe Sirianni's calling a pass play, but then Patullo is the one that has to call the specific play.
Okay.
And it goes poorly. So we've tried to maybe defend Patullo at times.
Rarely, but yes.
This show does not as much because we see the truth.
Because we saw the truth.
Here was Kevin Patullo yesterday when, you'll hear the whole question about whether or not Nick Sirianni is involved in play calling.
In terms of your conversation with Nick during the course of play calling, how does it go in terms of in the series, or is it more so in between series? Like, does he dictate how you're calling a series with each play?
No.
So the conversations are had between.
We talk about situations like as they come up with down and distance of 4th downs and things like that. But that's really it.
So he's telling you he's got it all. Except for
look, he's
all right,
he's
fourth
telling
and,
us right there.
4th and 4. Hey, Nick, do you want us to go for it, or do you want to punt or kick?
And that's what I told you before. That's how, if you get the NFL Plus and you listen to some of the mic'd up stuff and you get all the advanced content, you can see where that's what Nick did last year with Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
His input on offense last year with Kellen Moore was, we're running it here. Are we running it here?
Yeah.
It was almost like he was questioning Kellen.
Right.
What are we doing here? Okay, okay. We're doing it. We're running it here. We want to be running it here. We want to be let's be clock conscious.
Yep.
Things like that.
Well,
guess
Kevin
what?
Patullo told you yesterday.
This is on him.
It's all him.
So this is, we're supposed to believe them, right?
So when we're doing the whole, it might not just be Patullo. Well, he's kind of telling you that it is. Now,
stop blaming anybody else because it's on him.
Monday through Saturday, it's the collective, the game planning, right?
That is correct.
Putting plays into the playbook, install, all that kind of stuff.
That's correct.
But what he is telling you, if we are supposed to take everything as gospel, He's telling you he's the one that's calling all the plays.
I will tell you this. The coordinator is not covering for the head coach. The coordinator is not worried about covering for the head coach on that. He's not saying, well, I got to give him blame because it's going to give him more blame.
Sure.
No, he's not doing that. That's this is where Nick Sirianni, we got to believe it.
Yeah.
It's there. This is all Kevin Patullo then.
Now, it was Patullo's turn to answer about the Landon Dickerson 5-man front unprepared comment.
Oh, this is fun.
And this was Patullo's answer.
Last week you have walkthrough, then you have practice, and then you have walkthrough and practice. So you only have so many reps, right? And when you go into it, what you do is you say, okay, here's their personnel, here's their trends, here's their percentages of what they've done up until this point. What's something they've done in the past? What's something maybe they're trending towards on more that they want to do? And you kind of play the percentage. I know Landon kind of talked about this. You play the percentage a little bit, but you also got to say, if they go down this road, here's what we're going to get to, here's what we're going to do. And sometimes, right, if they give us a 5-man front, it doesn't have to be a run. Like some of the pass game was successful because of that. Like, so you can play the game within the game. Just because they're in a certain front doesn't mean you're running it or throwing it. You can kind of do other things, and that presented itself in the game. So I think when you look at it, you got to, like everybody, you're playing the analytics and the percentages of things, and you're trying to work towards what gives everybody the best idea of what they could do. But at the same time, we have meetings that are extremely, intense with information. And we give a lot of information, and we walk through as much as we can and do as much as you can in a physical, full-speed practice with very limited reps. I mean, there's some days it's very limited is all you can do. So a lot of it is that walk-through, talk-through stuff, and that's why in game it's critical that once it starts to happen, we talk about it and figure out, okay, this is the direction we need to go. It's something maybe we talked about, contingency plan, wherever it may be, and then just kind of work off that from there. So you're kind of playing that game back and forth each week.
Here's where Kevin Patullo, though, is a little off base in this. And doing with my friends in Dallas radio the other day, doing an appearance with them, talking about it post-mortem, is the 5-man fronts have been a thing that if you looked at the tape recently, Dallas was doing this.
Yeah.
If you looked at the tape all year, Dallas wasn't doing it.
Right. It was ever since they got Quinnen Williams.
Correct. So if you can't say we're playing the percentages, because if you played the percentages from when Quinnen Williams joined the Cowboys, this was something that they were doing commonly.
Yeah.
If you're doing the percentages of all year long, it was something that they weren't. So the fact is that they didn't spend as much time on it, or didn't. Well, we're playing the percentages. Yeah, you're saying all year long they didn't do that much. But in recency, they did. And that is, again, that's novice coaching mistake.
But here's the other thing.
That's a novice mistake.
And this is probably the biggest one out of all of it, like not just being ill-prepared. So the Cowboys weren't really doing it much in the first half.
They weren't.
They then adjusted to it in the second half. And the Eagles could not adjust to their adjustments. And this has been a problem a lot of times this season when it comes to the Eagles' offense. So whether it's Kevin Patullo calling plays, whether it's the halftime, hey, what could they do in the second half to try to combat what we've done? They have not been able to be on their toes and adjust to their adjustments. That has been a common problem this year.
Over and over.
Right? Like, and to me, when we ask our question today, we'll get our text messages for the first time coming up next, whether or not you think the best football is ahead of us or behind us for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't see how all of a sudden it's going to click for the play caller that can't adjust to a line adjustment.
That, by the way, and if you saw some of the stuff from like NFL Live and everything, this is simple adjustment.
Yeah.
That's a simple adjustment, but it's got to come.
Not for you and I, but
it's got to come
for an offensive coordinator.
But that also, it's got to come from the sidelines. It's got to come from the play caller.
Yes. All right, coming up next, we'll check our text line. We also want to have some Thanksgiving fun the day before Thanksgiving. John and I had some topics on post-show headlines yesterday. We bring them to you today. First question tells me how good of a guest you are. Not a host, but guest. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, the Fanatic. Before we check our text line, I'm putting 2 of our YouTube viewers up to task here. All
You're
right?
taking them to task?
Taking them to task, whatever.
What did they do?
So you can watch the show on YouTube. You can listen on the radio. You can listen on the app. We appreciate any way you are involved with Kincade and Salciunas. Whether you're just a listener or if you're somebody that likes to comment on YouTube or tweet in, text in, call in, you name it. So Renee, I mention often because she's one of the biggest Eagles fans that I know of.
I saw at Ocean Casino this weekend, they have a place called Renee's, and I thought of Renee.
Well,
I thought of Renee.
Maybe it's
I
her
said,
joint.
there it is.
I don't know.
Renee maybe has got a secret business on the side.
So Renee and Deontay. Now, Deontay, I don't remember mentioning your name before, so welcome if this is one of your first days. I'm sorry if it is not. The names change all the time between usernames to real names, whatever. So Renee chimes in and says, I'm so tired of dissecting everything just to be a complainer. She believes that some of the issues are fixable.
Okay, so do
I will remain hopeful.
Yeah, so do I.
Deontay responds with a vast majority of these issues are fixable. It's just exasperated by media and fans. So
yeah.
No, hold on. Let him be. So what I want, I want Renee and Deontay specifically.
Yes.
You don't have to go full chapter verse. All right. I know you only have a certain amount of characters. What are the issues that you believe are fixable? What are the issues that you believe are not fixable? And then we'll try to weigh.
Well, more importantly,
I don't think Kevin Patullo, which I believe is an issue, is all of a sudden going to figure out how to have a feel for play calling.
And more importantly, what do they think? How do they think we affect anything? Like, how do they think,
I get what Deontay's saying. Like, it's
exasperated by the media. The Eagles' offense is absolutely one of the most underachieving units in the entire NFL.
Right.
In the entire league. With all of this talent, with all this money expenditure on it. The media has nothing to do with it. It is them underachieving. This is a story. Whether you just want to go, nah, I don't want to hear it. It's a story, and it's a terrible story, by the way. It's an underachieving story, and it's bad. And this is ridiculous. And I promise you, within NovaCare, this is a major story. That's why when you heard the defensive side of the ball is joyous and fun and goofing off. The offensive side of the ball, tense.
By the way, I did say that Deontay, I have not seen him on here before, right?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Everyone thinks I said Renee is new.
No, Renee's not new. No, Deontay.
What do you guys hear
Just
or
let it go.
not hear sometimes?
No, he's just saying that.
No, because this is what I mean. Like, I feel like our words get spun sometimes.
He's just saying exactly the opposite.
I literally just said.
Dude, I get paid to do this, and I don't listen to you guys.
God.
Not everyone's going to listen to every single word.
So, Renee and Deontay, I want you to tell us
Correct.
what issues you believe are fixable, and then we will react. Instead of just saying, stop complaining, these are fixable, tell us what is fixable. I'm asking.
And more importantly,
asking a
why?
question.
Here's another question I would have for both of them. Why is it not fixed? Why is it the day before Thanksgiving? What are they waiting for to fix it? If you think it's so fixable, what do you think they're waiting for to fix? Oh, they got plenty of time to fix it.
Well,
come on now.
I'll let them answer.
Come on.
If they can answer.
We'll see if they can.
All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor?
All right, so we have a check-in from our guy John V leading us off this morning and talking about the situation that the Eagles are in. He says, is there any chance that Nick Sirianni learned from the good coordinators how to call a game and also learned from the bad coordinators how to call a game and would be okay at play calling at this point during his career?
He told us that he stinks at it. And I'm going to tell you that that's the reason that he took himself – well, I don't believe it's the reason he took himself out of it. I believe that the front office told him 7 games into his coaching career, let Shane Steichen have a chance to call plays because you're not comfortable doing it. Let Shane Steichen do it, and then Shane took over, and it worked. So could he be better at it now? I don't know how he could be better at it.
I think it's a feel thing. I think Nick Sirianni knows football. I think Kevin Patullo knows football.
So do I, yeah.
It goes back to, we've played the clip from Nick Foles a couple of times this week. And I've played it because people love Nick Foles, people don't love us. We've been saying this, that there's an art to calling plays. Nick Foles says it. So hopefully you take Nick Foles' word for it a little bit more.
And
that you can know football but not have a feel for play calling. That does not mean that they should not have a job on an NFL staff.
Correct.
Right? That does not, look, Nick Sirianni was an offensive coordinator with the Indianapolis Colts, but did not call the plays.
Yes.
It was Frank Reich who called the plays because he knew the art to calling plays. Was he spectacular at it? No, but clearly he was better than Nick Sirianni. Like Andy Reid, he has offensive coordinators on his staff, but he's the guy that calls the plays because there is an art to calling plays. Same with Sean McVay. These guys aren't head coach / OC.
Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys there is an art to it. And more importantly, the comment from Nick Foles on his podcast, it was sort of like with all due respect, I'm sure Kevin Petula is a really nice guy. I'm sure he's a really nice guy. But like he's not good at this job. He's not good at it. And that's just a former Super Bowl winning quarterback telling you, I can watch this from home and say, this is not being done well. Bottom line.
Yeah. All right. Deontay chimes in. Thank you. Because Renee still, it doesn't seem like has.
She'll chime in.
Deontay says, what do I think is fixable? The penalties and sloppy decision-making. Why are we passing the ball on a 3rd and 2 with the tush push in your back pocket? That's something that, to Deontay's credit, I heard Harry bring that up yesterday with Tim McManus. Harry Mays was in with Middays with Marks yesterday saying, hey, how come last year they would have done that twice?
Absolutely.
Whereas this year they're throwing for it on 3rd and 2. Now, maybe they're telling you something.
I know what they're telling you. You figured it out.
Offensive line is just so banged up that they can't do it as much.
Correct.
They
And
don't trust, they don't trust Brett Toth to do it.
Yeah, they don't think that they have the physical nature to bully people the way that they did last year. That's a good observation, though. That's something that, but I don't know that that's being fixed.
Here's some more from Deontay. Tailoring the game plan to shut fans up instead of winning the damn games.
They're not doing
It's
that.
not lost on me that after 2 weeks of hell, we fed the ball to AJ.
They're not doing that because of the fans. They're doing that, Deontay. They're doing that because of AJ. They're doing that to shut him up, not to shut the fans up, to shut AJ up. That's not to shut the fans up. That's to stop the whining wide receiver up. That has nothing to do with us at all. They don't care about us.
Renee believes the offensive line is fixable. I believe penalties are fixable. If the O-line just slightly improves, the run game improves. I just don't know how that one gets fixed.
Health.
Right, when?
Health. Yeah, exactly. No, but that's it. That's the way that gets fixed.
So that would be like that's my response. Not trying to be negative. I'm legitimately responding. I don't think the offensive line all of a sudden gets fixed because I don't know when Cam Jurgens gets healthy.
Exactly.
All right, coming up next. Tim McManus said he's a little concerned that there could be a slide for the Eagles. What about Dave Zangaro? He said something that went completely against something I said earlier in the show yesterday morning. You'll hear that. And my first Thanksgiving Day question about how good of a guest you are. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A tough short week. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles have a quick turnaround from their loss to the Cowboys to their matchup with the Bears on Black Friday. They put out their first injury report yesterday, which was an estimation. And Lane Johnson, Drew Makuba injuries we know about. But Devontae Smith being a non-participant in the estimation was not a good sign. A shoulder/chest injury was what he was listed with. And the Eagles are trying to figure out the offense, not lose more players. Kevin Petula met with media yesterday, and he talks about the differences in the first and second half performances.
So it hasn't been one specific thing, and that's where we got to kind of find our way and just say, okay, first half, second half, what else can we build on? What else can we do from there? If it was one thing, I think it would obviously present itself a little bit easier to us.
Well, clearly it's not just one thing. There are a lot of issues that the Eagles offense are trying to work through, and there will be a lot of stuff to watch for ahead of and during Friday's game. Nick Sirianni meets with the media today at 11:50. Sixers got smoked by the Magic last night, 144-103. They're off till Friday. Flyers play the Panthers down in Florida tonight. Puck drops at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. Adam Schefter joins us coming up at 7:55. Andrew DeCecco will join us from the 8 o'clock hour till the end of the show. This update is brought to you by Groundworks, your trained and certified experts for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
On Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. I just saw something on Twitter right before we came out of commercial break that I must read.
What's that?
So a couple weeks ago, we talked about Tom Brady and the cloning of his old dog.
Which is just creepy.
Yeah, it freaked me out.
Yeah, it's creepy as hell.
Now I'll ask you this.
Yes.
I am all for this.
You're not all for cloning your dog.
No.
Yes.
The first anti-aging pill for dogs just got FDA backing and is now closer to approval, which could help senior dogs stay healthier for longer. I'm all for that, baby.
To let your senior dog live longer?
Yeah.
I'm telling you this right now.
If it's keeping it healthy, I'm not saying like
Right.
you know, it's on an oxygen tank.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
you know.
We love
I don't think they do that.
we love Nikki Foles so much, and she's not even 7 yet. And your dog is just a little over 7,
Yes.
right?
Already hurts.
We already. No, it's funny you say that.
Yeah.
Christina says it all the time. We cannot imagine. And we've had dogs our whole marriage.
Right.
Bunch of dogs. I can't imagine life without this dog.
I know.
Like she is.
Damn dogs.
She is the sweetest dog we've ever had, smartest dog we've ever had, but that's how she won a Super Bowl. That's how she won a Super Bowl, Nikki Foles. She is a smart dog. She never messed in the house once.
Yeah.
She never chewed anything in the house. She's just the perfect dog.
So would you get the anti-aging pill?
Yes, I would do.
I would do that for my dog.
I would do that too. Now, it does though depend on there are things like how much drastic life-saving measures you do though, as you're saying, spending and things like that. I think sometimes you got to balance the humanity of a dog. You have to balance his.
My childhood dog.
Okay.
Oh, she was the best.
What was her name?
Alexa. So sorry.
Sorry.
Everybody's radio devices just changed.
Couldn't have made up
Okay.
another.
She was having like kidney failure at the end.
Poor thing.
My parents put her on dog dialysis.
No, they didn't.
And by the way, this was during a rough time in the Salciunas household. Maybe
it
that's
was
why.
rough? Sorry.
Yeah. It was, recession times.
Oh no.
And my
No.
parents, they didn't care. They still
Really?
went for it.
Don't do that to a dog.
And she lived for 3 long more days, and then it was it.
Don't do that to a dog.
Yeah. Well, we love that dog.
No, I understand, but the thing is part of having a dog.
There's a lot of tough times.
Part of having a dog is humanity
I know.
of saying that you'd put your needs behind those of the animal that has been such a loyal, loving dog.
We love that dog.
I know, but let it go.
So anti-aging dog pill.
I would
Soon
definitely
to be
do it.
FDA
No, I'd
approved.
do it. I'd do it for Nikki Foles.
I'm all for it. All right. Are you a good guest? You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Yesterday on Post Show Headlines, John and I had a couple of Thanksgiving Day topics.
We have 5 of them today.
We have
by
5 of
the
them
way.
today from listeners, which is great. So you can check out Post Show Headlines on YouTube every single day after the show. Just search Kincade and Salciunas Post Show Headlines.
Thank you for so many more checking it out.
Yeah, it's been
very
seeing
brisk.
some growth, which is great. One of my questions: do you feel the need, if you're a guest at Thanksgiving, right? Whether it's you've grown up and you're going home to your parents, or over time you're now going to other families' houses. Like, I'm married, right? So we split every year. One year it's my parents' house. The next year it's my sister-in-law's. So
Okay.
this year we're going to my sister-in-law's house. Do you feel the need to try everything? I know John's answer.
Yeah, we'll get
So
into
I'm curious, Connor, you go to a house, there's this beautiful spread. Do you feel the need to try everything because you think you have to?
Hell no. Why would I? Like, listen, if you don't make what I like, then I'm not going to eat it. It's no fault of yours. It's my preference. I'm not going to make my holiday worse to try and appease you for making something that I don't normally eat.
I feel the need to try everything. John, you're
He's
like
a
John.
pleaser. You know what though? I can see. Whether you believe in the whole what do you call it, astrology or not. My daughter's born the same day as Andrew, and my daughter's just like you.
Yeah.
She's a pleaser. You're a pleaser. You try to be kind to everybody.
I try.
You will go out of your way, bend over backwards he's going to try everything on that is out there because somebody took the time to make it.
I'll tell you, it looks good, but I'll just say I don't really like the sweet potato casserole. That's not my thing, but it looks great.
Yeah, that's how I am.
So, Renee, no. MBD, no. Leamy, nope. Deontay, nope. So right away, a lot of people say no. So I gave my reasoning yesterday to John, not only because I like to try different things.
But you're adventuresome by nature, eating.
I'm also, I do a lot of the cooking at my house, right? And so I know the effort that it takes into making something. So if somebody put forth the effort to make something, I almost feel like, oh, man, I feel like I'm giving you a middle finger if I don't try the thing that you spent time on.
No. That's normal circumstances. But Thanksgiving is like the Eagles' offense. You know what is happening, and you got to have figured it out by now. At this point, you know what you like with Thanksgiving and what you don't like. And the Eagles should know what works and what doesn't work. Sweet potato casserole doesn't work for me, so I don't do it.
And there's a play chart. It's sort of like look, approach Thanksgiving like Kevin Petula. You got a whole play chart in front of you. And look, he gets very confused, obviously. He can't do it under pressure.
Yeah.
You got to have a plan going in. And your plan going in, Connor already approaches Thanksgiving with a plan going in, knowing what he wants to do.
Yeah, you're running screen passes, Salciunas, trying the sweet potato casserole.
Kevin
But let me ask you,
losing yards.
But let me ask you something. So a couple of years ago, I was at, again, my sister-in-law's house, and somebody made something in honor of somebody that had recently passed. It was like something that she always made for their family Thanksgiving, and so she wanted to continue the tradition even though it was now at a different house, all right? It may have been one of the worst things I've ever had.
Yeah, all due respect, do not guilt me into eating anything I
But
don't want
2 years later, when I saw it prepared again, I still ate it.
Yeah, that's on you. You're a crazy person.
Because they took the time to make it, but also it was in honor of someone.
No.
And
you're not fooling me. You're not fooling me into eating anything. Like if you put Brussels sprouts
I wasn't
out.
fooled. I felt the need to eat it. Is there anybody on my side? Because apparently everybody's team you guys.
Someone took the time to make the food that gave me food poisoning on Monday night.
Yeah, but
it doesn't mean I'm going to
eat a bad fast food place.
Yeah, that's probably part of it.
It doesn't mean, though, that I'm going to eat it again because somebody took the time.
All right, so that's our first.
That's a weird indicator on your part.
Thanksgiving Day related question. If you are the guest at somebody's house for Thanksgiving, do you feel the need to try everything to almost appease the person that made it? Yes or no? Text it in 610-632-0975. Everybody on YouTube is saying no.
Yeah, I mean,
so what I'm saying is you guys are all bad people, and I'm the good person in society.
What I'm saying to you is that you are. It's what I always tell Andrew, and I tell him this many, many times. He goes out of his way to be kind, like literally goes out of his way to be kind. I'm the sucker of the two of us. He's much more perceptive of human beings than I am, but you bend over backwards, man. You really do.
Damn right I do.
You really do.
Ryan on YouTube. Andrew, as your kids get older, you're going to get a middle finger towards your food pretty much every night. You mean last night?
Yeah, exactly.
As he gets older? Yesterday, you should have seen what happened in my house.
Bad news? Yeah.
Bad. All right, Dave Zangaro yesterday. You mentioned the 2023 sort of comparison to him yesterday, and this was his response.
Yeah, I do believe they're different, and there's nothing to say that this season is still going to end in Santa Clara, right? Like, there's a lot of room in between those two things, between some kind of collapse and going to the Super Bowl. But I think this team is more talented. Like, when we're talking about the defense in 2023 versus the offense in 2025, at some point, I think the hope is still there that talent wins out, and it did early on Sunday, right? You saw them be able to get the ball to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and you saw Dallas Goedert. I think the hope here is that the offense just has enough talent to survive whatever the heck has been happening this season. I think that becomes less and less likely the further into the season we are. We're in week 13 now, so I understand that if you're sitting at home and you're skeptical about whether or not this offense is going to suddenly figure it out. But the one reason for hope is that, yeah, there's a lot of talent there, which is also the source of all the frustration, right? If this offense stunk from a personnel standpoint and they weren't performing well, you'd understand it. They don't. They're too talented to play to the level they have.
So Dave, by the way, has written some really good stuff at NBC Sports Philadelphia about that on the same topic.
Yes,
you can check out.
And yesterday, if you guys remember, before we had Dave on, I brought up something I said in 2023 during the collapse. That talent doesn't always prevail. And you heard Dave in his answer there saying, at some point, the talent's going to show up. Are we sure? Like, we don't know that. you can have all the talent in the world, but again, if the play calling or the offensive design or the injury bug, because right now the Eagles are dealing with that a little bit. If all this stuff is a factor, it could be so much so that they can't overcome it just with talent. Like Saquon Barkley, every reporter, every ESPN analyst,
Every single one.
Dan Orlovsky on the overnight, we heard it driving in this morning. If you think Saquon Barkley's to blame, you're not watching the games appropriately.
I just responded to somebody on social media about this morning.
So Saquon is still talented, but has he been able to overcome the offensive line that's banged up? No, he hasn't been able to. A.J. Brown is still talented. Devontae Smith is still talented, right? They have not been able to overcome maybe the
Play
predictable and poor route trees.
The play caller. Yes.
So when I hear Dave say that, I would like to believe him, but I learned in 2023 that all that offensive talent was not able to overcome the defensive woes. The Eagles don't have defensive woes this year, but they clearly have them on offense. I don't know if I can just say, oh, the talent will be fine. Our question for you today, it's 610-632-0975. Is the best football behind us or ahead of us? I'll explain the reason why I have this topic for this specific date based off of the last 2 seasons of Eagles football. Also, do you believe you need to try everything if you are a guest at Thanksgiving? That's our first Thanksgiving-related question. Shout out to you, Greg, for being the one person that has so far come to my defense. Greg on YouTube, I love you.
There are always other psychos. You guys find each other. It's usually on the dark web, though.
You want to have dinner together, Greg? It's a date. It's
Sorry,
Kincade
Greg.
Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right,
7 a.m. hours brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app. Play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Do you go?
Sorry.
Do you go?
Sorry.
Do you go?
I'm just so excited to just sort of learn about people, because sometimes sports opinions is not really a way for me to learn who you are. All right? So I see our man Mopar on our YouTube chat about the Thanksgiving Day menu. All right? He said, if you're the one cooking for Thanksgiving, you got to read the room. Well, first off, I imagine
Is Mopar cooking?
I don't know. I imagine he's a tremendous host. I've seen the bar. Like, it's stacked.
Okay.
You know, I've seen the photos of his bar. It's
good.
great. But first off, when you're cooking Thanksgiving, or in our case at the Salciunas household, my wife and I host Christmas, you're not calling everybody, hey, so you want some turkey? Like, no.
No.
There's the staples, right? Turkey, stuffing, mashed.
Sure.
I'm a fan of the green bean casserole.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's delicious. Like, these things are, what are you, a horse? Like, these things.
Now, green beans, I love.
These things are delicious, right? So there's the staples, right? But, like, I can't, if I want to make something different, like, text everybody, hey, I'm going to make this. You cool with that? Now, I would imagine if, like, you have like, my wife doesn't eat fish, all right? So my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, always hosts Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And he does the 7 fishes / 12 dishes. 7 fishes because he's Italian, 12 dishes because of the Catholicism thing.
So there's 25 dishes? I mean, is there 12 dishes?
No, like the 7 fishes count as
whatever it is. My
toward
math
the 12.
was off there a little bit.
That'd be
7
19.
fishes, 12 dishes.
You're the one who's bad at math, Connor.
I can add. So he clearly will make an entree that is not fish related for my wife because she doesn't eat fish.
Okay.
So that's
Well, if he's doing 12 dishes.
yeah, you're gonna have other stuff anyway. But like, I can't try to appease everybody.
No.
Like, unless there's a dietary restriction, or like, I know this person will be miserable if I don't have something that's not fish related.
Yes. I mean,
So how do you
unless
read the room? Because you're cooking beforehand. Nobody's cooking. I never want to go to a house at Thanksgiving and nothing be prepared. Something's got to be out.
Well, yeah. But I got to be honest, I don't believe I've ever cooked a meal for another person in my life.
See, this is really interesting because that's really interesting.
So I might absolve myself of this conversation. I can't remember a single time where I've ever cooked for somebody.
I have never entertained where I have been the chef, other than if you're talking the grill. If you rule out the grill, which I don't consider cooking,
Yeah.
I have never been the chef for a meal like people come on over, eat in our home, where I'm preparing the meal.
Right. Now, look, if it's like another couple, that's easy. But like, if you're doing like,
It's not easy for me. You speak of it very effortlessly.
Well,
it's intimidating to me.
I know
very
my way
intimidating.
around.
I'm not even allowed on the grill. They don't let me by the fire.
Wow, that's really scary.
Trust me with that.
I was
Well,
never.
I wouldn't trust you around
I
the
was
fire.
raised.
cooler.
I was raised in a household, which is Betty. One of the things Betty did wrong. Sorry, Mom. It was get out of my kitchen. Because the houses where we grew up in Broomall, they had very small kitchens, and my mom was like, "This is her domain. It's her kitchen. Get the hell out." Like she did not want anybody in her kitchen, so she wanted to just do things, being totally in charge of her kitchen.
Yeah.
A Virgo, total psychopath as far as control freak. And she just wanted things. So I never learned to cook. Never learned to do anything like that. I could have absolutely learned.
Yeah, I help my mom in the kitchen a lot.
Is that culture thing?
Yeah,
From your parents? Is that in your culture? In your upbringing?
There was a previous life where I wanted to go into culinary arts.
Really? GPA was that bad, eh? Is that what it was?
We won't get into that. All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor? Our question is the best football ahead of us or behind us when it comes to the Eagles? The reason why I asked this question today, it is November 26th, 2025. It is amazing that on November 26th, 2023, the Eagles just beat the Bills in overtime. And on November 24th of 2024, the Eagles had just beat the Rams. In the ensuing 6 games, in 23, they went 1-5, and then were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. In 24, they went 5-1, complete opposite, and went to and won the Super Bowl. So complete opposite in the playoffs. First round exit,
Yes.
no exit. 1-5, 5-1. The best football was not ahead of the 2023 Eagles. The best football was ahead of the 2024 Eagles. What are people saying about this year, Connor?
Yeah, it's really interesting because we've got some cool Twitter poll results, too, and this is about as even as you can get on a Twitter poll.
Oh, so, we don't have the Avi Donapel.
No.
But I would like to give a shout-out to Iron Mountain Men's Health because that's the poll sponsor for Unfiltered.
Yeah, so there you go.
So we're trying it out, see if it works for us. And the question is, at this point in 2023, Eagles took a turn for the worst. In 2024, this was when they really hit their stride. Do you believe the best football is ahead or behind this season? 53% saying it already happened. 47% saying still to come.
Okay, I gotta tell you,
Wow.
I'm absolutely floored by these results.
There was a point where it was 50-50 only a couple minutes ago.
I thought this was easily going to be 70-30. I was expecting when you gave the results, and I purposely didn't look. I thought it's going to be 70-30, the best footballs to come, only because the schedule gets much easier. But as you pointed out, in 2023, the schedule got much easier, and it meant nothing. It meant nothing.
No, it meant nothing because
they continued to poop themselves. They were terrible.
Okay,
I don't expect that to happen.
give us a text. I need if people could call in on this, that'd be great
Sure.
too. 610-632-0975. Is the best football ahead of the Eagles or behind the Eagles? November 26th. In 23, they went 1-5. In 24, they went 5-1. We are around 50-50 on the poll. What do we got?
I'm floored by that. No, and in fact, it's losing. Like the best football is ahead is losing.
What do we got on the text line?
People have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Sean checks in, says, I honestly don't know how to feel. Kevin Patullo isn't going to wake up today and just figure it out just like that. Until he's gone, I believe we'll have the same issues again and again for the rest of the season. But I do believe we could finish the season 12-5. It just might not be because of the offense.
And again, my reasoning for I believe it's already behind the Eagles is because the Eagles' offense in 23 was able to constantly overcome the woes of the defense to a 10-1 record, by the way. But then eventually they couldn't anymore. Can the Eagles' defense in 2025 continuously overcome the woes of the Eagles' offense? I don't know if that's the case, especially come playoff time when you're going to play better offenses. Oh, by the way, like what you saw this past Sunday against the Cowboys. That's why that game is so troublesome to me. At one point, the Eagles' offense just went dead on Sunday, and the defense just couldn't continuously stand on their head after 3 and out. What do you think? 610-632-0975. We have another Thanksgiving Day question for you. Football rules at your house. It's a good question that you posed yesterday, Johnny. What's the rules when it comes to viewing football on Thanksgiving Day? I've had two totally different experiences over my years. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
I know Dan White and Associates is ready to celebrate the holiday. They already had their pie drive-by where they were collecting Toys for Tots and other things because Dan White and Associates has been part of our community for almost 4 decades. And what they do is they specialize in retirement and financial planning. But what they also do is they connect to the community. And I think that by connecting to the community, they also then understand the needs of the people that they service in the community even better. Whether they're servicing people like me, that are getting closer to retirement, that want to know that they're on the right path, that they've done the right things, that they're going to have the income in retirement to support the lifestyle they want to live. That involves a lot of golf and travel for me. Or if you're somebody that is just starting out and you want to be able to set up those financial guardrails so you know, I'm saving enough for retirement, I'm putting enough away in savings, but I'm doing the right things because we want to buy a bigger house or whatever. Dan White and Associates can help you with all of that. They host educational seminars throughout Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland where you can go, and I always like to say be a passive listener. You want to go and you just want to hear and listen, and you don't even have to really interact much. You can just observe. And then once you listen and you get intrigued, you can then take advantage of their complimentary no-risk consultation. Dan White and Associates will take great care of you. They're great people. That's danwhiteandassociates.com.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Some banged up birds. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles put out their first injury report of the week ahead of their Black Friday matchup with the Chicago Bears. And with the short week, it was only an estimation. Eagles just held a walkthrough. But in addition to Lane Johnson and Drew Makuba's injuries, Devontae Smith was listed as a non-participant with a shoulder/chest injury. That would be bad news for an Eagles offense that needs to get things going both through the air and on the ground. Kevin Patullo met with media yesterday and talked about trying to get Saquon going.
We're trying pretty much anything and everything we can to find ways to get him going. I know the guys are excited for something new this week, see if we can get it going. And we know it's not going to be like last year. We just got to find our way this year and really work through it.
Well, something new would be welcome because the Eagles' running game hasn't really gotten things going yet this year. We will see if they get that going Friday. Nick Sirianni meets with the media today at 11:50 a.m. Sixers got smoked by the Magic last night, 144-103, a 41-point loss. They're off till Friday. Flyers take on the Panthers tonight down in Florida. Puck drops at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Adam Schefter joins us coming up at 7:55. Andrew DeCecco will join the guys from 8 a.m. to the end of the show. This update is brought to you by Phillies Sports Trips. John Kincade is hosting the True Fan Tailgate before the Eagles-Bears game this Friday, November 28th. Brought to you by True Fan Travel and 97.5 The Fanatic. All-inclusive food, drinks, live entertainment, and a short walk to the stadium. Reserve your spot now at phillysportstrips.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, a couple of things. Our man Joe the Cynic on Twitter,
What's up, Joe?
in response to the anti-aging dog pill.
Okay.
In case you're just tuning in, the FDA is close to backing an anti-aging dog pill, which I would buy.
I wonder how expensive it would
probably
be.
expensive.
Like, I wonder how expensive.
I love my dog.
We talk all the time. We don't know what we don't know what we're gonna. We've never had a dog that has made this kind of impact on us.
He responds, will that aging pill work on Harper and Turner since they'll be limping at the end of their contracts?
No. Phillies fans are like, we got to sign Schwarber. Got to sign Real Muto. And they're going to be the same people that call this radio station and go, oh, my gosh, how did the team let them get so old? How did we, become irrelevant? We're going to know.
Now, I did respond. There are dogs around the area that have been named Harper and Trey recently because of that, and people like to do that. There's a family in my neighborhood. I see them often when I go for a walk.
Okay.
And they're big listeners of the show.
We appreciate
So you
them.
know who I'm talking about if you're driving over the Ben Franklin Bridge right now.
Okay.
They had a dog named Chase, obviously off of Chase Utley.
Okay.
Chase, unfortunately, had to be put down last year. The dog was 18 years old.
Wow. What kind of dog was it?
I don't
Was it a
know.
small dog?
It's a small dog.
Yeah, because small dogs live longer. That's what we're hoping with Nicky Foles.
I don't know what specific breed, but I met Chase and I was like, wait. Did you name Chase after he got traded to the Dodgers? They're like, no, 2006.
That's amazing.
What?
That's why they got him at 18. He started buying smokes.
Yeah, exactly.
He asked to vote.
All right. We have Thanksgiving-related questions. Our first one was whether or not you feel the need as a guest, if you are the guest, to try everything that is there. What have we gotten on the text line? I've only gotten one person on my side on YouTube. That was Greg. So thank you, Greg. I'll always remember you for this.
Yeah, you and Greg are still alone. Eric from Virginia says, hell no, not trying food that I don't like. We all have preferences. And then we also have a check-in here from Sean, who says, absolutely not. You know what you like and don't like. Credit to them for making a great spread, but it's your choice to pick what you want.
See, I admire, though, the weird thing is in this whole argument is, or whole debate, is that I admire Andrew for being a person who tries things. Thank you. Because I literally have had to say, my wife and I have done this thing where this year we said we are going to stop going to the same restaurants. We like the same restaurants and everything. So we are going to try in the course of the year, we're going to try 12 places that we have never tried before.
Right.
So we're going to say, instead of going to the place we always like to go to, let's try someplace else. And we've stayed to it. We've tried some different places. We found some we didn't like as much, but we tried. Sure. I admire that you try stuff. Because I think being rigid in life isn't a great quality. It's not a great quality. And you are rigid in other things, but you do try this. You do try, and I like that.
Oh, maybe one year you'll end up liking it. I don't know.
You never know. I won't.
I did that with the cold beet salad and soups of the Lithuanian culture, and one day I started liking it. All right. Our poll today that we have running on the Fanatic, it's incredible how close it is. At this point in 2023, the Eagles took a turn for the worst. In 2024, this is when they really hit their stride. Basically the exact same date, all right?
It's pretty much it, yeah.
Do you believe the best football is ahead of the season or behind us this season? 52.5% say it's already happened. 47.5% say it's still to come.
So pessimistic.
Well,
I can't get over it though. I didn't expect. I totally thought when you put this poll up, it was going to be lopsided.
Has the offense made you feel optimistic? Now, Deontay has an interesting question on our YouTube chat.
Deontay's prolific.
Yeah, Deontay's having a great day for Deontay.
For a newbie.
Other than Greg, Deontay might be my favorite today. Because Greg and I,
because he agrees with you?
stand as one when it comes to the food. Deontay asks, did any of y'all get good at your job immediately? Or did it take a while for you to catch on?
Yes, I was always great at this.
Some may say that we've never gotten good. But I will say this. In our walk of life, I'll just speak on you because you're asking us about our jobs. Do you know how many weekend and late night crap shifts I had to do just to crack the mic as a producer?
Correct.
Kevin Patullo, it's not like he was simulating games on Madden, or maybe he was. I don't know. It's not like during the games, Patullo was sitting on the side with somebody else and saying, this is what I would call here.
Right.
This is what I would call here. This is what I would call here.
Nope.
Kevin Patullo, in our case in this job, yeah, we sucked our first couple shifts.
Well, speak for yourself.
I went back and listened to my first couple of shifts. They were dreadful. I felt the need to yell and scream. I had to be right. I have to have the opinion. Blah, 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 blah. But
has that changed,
no,
Connor?
not really. No. But over time, I've had the opportunity to do more and more shifts.
Right.
In maybe some less difficult capacities, like 10 to midnight on a Saturday, right? Like I could screw up 10 to midnight on a Saturday.
That's what you do. My first shift I ever did in this market as a talk show host ever in my life was Christmas Eve, 1992 on WIP. I believe I worked with Carl Churkin.
Okay.
Who was the former, I did work with Carl Churkin. It's not, I believe, but it was that night, I believe it was 92, Christmas Eve. And it was that was Tom Bigby said, you had produced, I had interned, I had done everything. And he's like, okay, I'm going to put, and he literally said, I'm going to put you somewhere where you can't hurt me.
Right.
I'm going to give you a shot somewhere where you can't hurt me. And so you get your shot, but you toil away forever. Kevin Patullo did, and Kevin Patullo was given the keys to it wasn't, they didn't say, oh, John, Tom Bigby didn't go, oh, Angelo Cataldi's off tomorrow. Your first shift, we're giving you Angelo Cataldi's show to do. Hell no.
Yeah.
He said Christmas Eve from midnight to 2 a.m. or whatever it was, we're going to give you a shot then because you can't hurt me there. Nick Sirianni said, oh, wait a minute. We just got the brand new Lamborghini? Let's give it to our 16-year-old and tell him and his buddies can go out for the night. That's what they did.
Well, you got a rich family. You get a Lamborghini.
That's his truth. That is the truth.
All right. Let's go to Nick in Riverside, and then we're going to open up our next Thanksgiving Day related question. What's up, Nick?
How you guys doing?
Hi, Nick.
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing okay. Honestly, we're 8-3. You know what I mean? So here's my thing. I don't really like everyone coming at Kevin Patullo. It mostly because I think it's just I don't want to get rid of another offensive coordinator. And that's what everyone's saying they want to do.
But what do you think? What makes you call today though and want to defend him?
It's the holidays.
Because you have to no. you gotta let things evolve. That's what the head coach said on sorry, it was
I got
on
you.
The radio station.
Yeah.
He said it on a radio station yesterday.
Okay.
Nick Sirianni said it yesterday.
But Nick, all right, so he's going to defend his guy, right?
Correct. He's going to defend the hire
we
that
all,
he
we
made.
all know that. So so you got to let it evolve.
Agree.
But what if it doesn't evolve, man? Like this team, and here's the deal. Forget us for a second, all right? I'm going to ask you this question. Forget John Kincade, forget Andrew Salciunas, forget Connor Thomas. Howie Roseman has built an offense that before the season started, we've all called a top 5 offense. Jeffrey Lurie is spending money for a top 5 offense. If it is one of the worst ranked offenses in the NFL, which it still is, don't you think the higher-ups that built this offense are a little disappointed with what they've gotten?
Here's my thing, though. If you kept the offensive coordinator from last year to develop or evolve, it would be the same thing as what you should be doing with the offensive coordinator that you have this year. Let it develop.
No. Well, Kellen Moore had three top 5. Kellen Moore had 3 top 5 offenses on his resume before he ever rolled into Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He was an accomplished play caller. He was a successful offensive coordinator.
He's obviously a better play caller. He's a better offensive coordinator. I get it. I understand. I completely agree. But you still need to let things evolve, develop.
Not with a championship club. Not with when you have the best car on the block. If you were a NASCAR team, You have the best car. You have the best crew. You don't
You're
go
so
and
fourth in the NFC.
you don't go and hire a guy to be the driver of your car who's inexperienced.
All right, I want Nick to answer the question that we have today. Nick, do you believe the best football is ahead of the Eagles or behind the Eagles?
I still believe it's ahead.
Okay.
So do I.
We're going to finish out great, I believe.
Why do you think that is, though, Nick?
Look at our record. We're 8-3. We're still a great team.
What did you say in 2023 when they were 10-1?
What's that?
You see, that's the thing.
Thanks, Nick. We appreciate the call.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, we got to run. But
All
I mean,
right.
it's like
Coming up next.
when they were 10-1, that is the call that I got over and over again and was told.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not. You got it. There's got to be nuance to it. Got to be nuance.
All right. Coming up next, we got Adam Schefter coming up at 7:55. We'll sneak in a little baseball nugget because there was a report on Kyle Schwarber, and it sounds a lot like last year. Also, Thanksgiving Day rules when it comes to football. What was it like as a kid, and what was it like now? You can answer that at 610-632-0975. We'll discuss it next. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Let's talk about that FanDuel.
Schwarber camp, the winning, going to a great team. So anything you're hearing about Pittsburgh,
Right.
the Reds,
That's not happening, yeah.
those teams that in baseball circles people are saying, bull, they're that kid in the backseat, bull, whatever.
Yeah.
They're not buying it. He only is going to consider really good teams that are interested.
Sure.
So Mets, Blue Jays,
Red Sox.
That's pretty much it. Mets, Blue, they were the three teams I was given.
Yeah.
But what are they going to do?
Try
What
to
are the
up-
Mets- what
try
are the
to
Mets
up-
gonna do?
Up the money and up the years.
The Mets are going to do what the Braves did with Aaron Nola.
Yeah.
The Mets are going to make sure that the Phillies bleed to get this deal done, which is just going to screw them down the line.
Well, that's the price of doing business, and he's going to be back. So the sooner we accept it, the better.
Yeah, you see, but accepting it is the same thing that's going to be, this is the same way people are going to lose their freaking minds a few years from now going, how did we get so old? How did they let this happen? Phillies suck. Phillies did this to us. How did they give us three? Because there's going to be years of irrelevance coming. They're coming.
I don't know that we can say that right now definitively. Just
So
based
you
on
think-
what, 3
okay.
contracts right
How
now?
about take Andrew's question from the beginning of the show?
Okay.
Well, if you can't if you're taking Schwarber, Turner, Harper, you're talking about 3 of your most important players.
Right now, yes.
Okay. 3 of your most important players.
You're talking
we're gonna
about years down the
you're telling
line.
me, okay, 3 years down the line. Okay, so 3 years down the line, you're telling me they're going to find 3 players, position players, that are more pivotal
Maybe.
than
yeah.
those guys?
That's certainly possible.
When you're paying those guys what you're paying them?
You're hoping the farm system.
Yeah.
Who are the guys? Okay, give me
Justin,
the guys.
you just talked all season about how Justin Crawford had one of the greatest AAA
Yes,
seasons of
he
all
did,
time. Do you
but-
think he could be that guy at the major league level?
Do I think he's going to be better than any of those 3 players as far as impact, like at the plate? I do not.
Okay.
Do I think he's going to be a very solid major league player? I think he has absolutely
Well,
that potential.
If those guys decline and he comes up and is really good, it could be him. It could be Aiden Miller. You could make a trade for a guy that we're going to talk about in headlines that's a really intriguing multi-time All-Star of the past 2
Tell me
seasons.
he's young.
old too,
Tell me
though.
he's
Yeah,
young
he's
because
not.
this team is going to be the Golden Girls.
Okay, John, but you can't talk about years down the line and then not concede that there could be changes years down the line.
You can, but you're also going to assume that you're telling me they're going to find 3 or 4 guys that are going to be better than these guys while they're still on the roster
I'm not-
sucking you dry.
I'm not assuming they're going to. I'm saying it's a possibility, and you
Okay.
seem resigned to the fact
Okay,
that
it's-
it's not going to happen.
It's a possibility it could be 75 on Christmas Day, too. It's a possibility. Might be. We may be wearing shorts and T-shirts on Christmas Day. It's a possibility. It's more likely that it's going to be 25 and cold, but yeah.
But just,
you're right.
just definitively
last couple
saying that
years.
there's collapse years coming
There's-
not, like, that's not rational.
Okay. But the history of baseball would tell you that it is completely rational.
Kyle Schwarber, it still looks like a deal will get
Man.
done. We just don't know how many years and what money. All right, what were the rules growing up for you when it came to Thanksgiving Day football, and what is it like now? I told you yesterday. It was a no-go as a kid.
Okay, this is really strange.
We
to me.
were obviously I was allowed to watch the 12:30 kickoff, but then when dinner time happened, it was sit at the dinner table until everyone is done. And grandma, grandpa took a little bit longer to eat than everybody else, and so I would get up for thirds and fourths to check the scores of games, and then I would hear Andrew, you've been gone for a while, and then I'd have to come back to the table. Nowadays, it's a little bit different. I'm a grown man, damn it.
Okay.
But as a kid, I missed the second game. Well, and as a kid, there were only 2 games.
Okay, wait a minute. How long did dinner go? First of all, what time did dinner start then?
Like 4 o'clock. So
Okay, so the game starts.
3:30,
The second
4
game
o'clock.
starts at 4:30.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to leave the table, which, by the way, is just proper protocol. That's good. That's good parenting on your parents'
Yes,
part.
they were,
Everybody
yeah.
stays at the table until everybody's done. So, how long did dinner go?
We'd have dessert at the dinner table too. We were
Okay,
there.
no, I get that.
We were there for I don't know, over an hour.
Oh no, well that's good. Well, how'd you miss the game? Then you came a half hour into the second
Well,
game.
then you got to talk.
So you had to stay there for
Uh-huh.
adults
Oh
talking.
yeah.
Oh well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You see, that's crazy.
So and remember back in my day, there were only 2 Thanksgiving games. Nowadays you have the 3, right? So when I was younger, I only watched like the first game. What about you?
We absolutely would. Betty would always stagger. We tried to eat late in the Detroit game. Always were done before Dallas.
Okay.
Dinner was always done before 4:30.
That was smart.
So it was probably like a 3:30 eating.
yeah, that's good planning.
Like 3:30 eating because the 12:30 game usually was done around 3:30ish.
Right.
and no one usually cared about the Lions.
Right. So that's
it
good
was like
planning.
so she would always do that. By 4:30 was there, but we always did dessert. There's a gap, and we still do that.
There's no gap.
There's a gap. We don't do sit down at the table, have that, and then sit right there and then bring desserts out.
Yeah.
There's always a gap of like a half hour, 45 minutes before.
At my
everybody-
in-laws' house, it's wherever you want to eat. You can eat in the laundry room if you want to. Go wherever you want. So
In the
I'd sit
laundry
front of
room, even.
I sit in front of the TV. Connor, what about you?
We never hosted, never traveled. So I did whatever I wanted.
All right. So our first question, Thanksgiving related, was as a guest, do you feel the need to try everything? Our second question, what are the football rules on Thanksgiving Day? And it could be different from when you were a kid to now as an adult. 610-632-0975. We'll get your responses on that coming up in a little bit. But first, we speak to our man, Adam Schefter. It is an Adam Schefter Wednesday here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Still looking for solutions. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are still trying to figure out what in the world's going on with their offense. And Kevin Patullo met with media yesterday and was asked about just that, and mainly the differences in the first and second halves of games recently. Here's what he had to say.
So it hasn't been one specific thing, and that's where we got to kind of find our way and just say, okay, first half, second half, what else can we build on? What else can we do from there? If it was one thing, I think it would obviously present itself a little bit easier to us.
So we'll be seeing if they find some of those solutions when they match up with the Bears on Friday. A short week, and with that comes injury concerns and breakdowns. Well, it was only an estimation yesterday on the first injury report of the week, but with Lane Johnson and Drew Makuba injuries already accounted for, Devontae Smith did not practice with a shoulder/chest injury, something to keep an eye on as we move closer to game day. Nick Sirianni will meet with the media today at 11:50. Sixers got smoked by the Magic last night, 144-103. They're off till Friday. Flyers play the Panthers tonight down in Florida. Puck drops at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Adam Schefter joins us coming up next for the latest on the NFL and the Birds. This update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. It's a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find so many holiday essentials, all for under $25. Don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
7:56 on this Wednesday morning, which means now joining us on the Comcast Business Hotline, where every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. Our man from ESPN, the great Adam Schefter, joins us. Shefty, good morning.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving
Good
to
to hear from you, buddy.
We hope you are able to relax somewhat tomorrow when there will be 3 football games. One of those football games being the Dallas Cowboys, who just beat the Philadelphia Eagles this past Sunday when the Eagles had a 21-0 lead. And then, of course, the Cowboys 24 unanswered en route to a Cowboys victory. Any fallout that you've heard from that loss? Because obviously there's been a lot of drama and rumors and questions over the last couple of weeks after wins.
Well, that was exactly what I was thinking. Like, Philadelphia has reacted when everything was hunky-dory, when the team was 8-2, like the team was 2-8. And now, when you let the Dallas Cowboys off the hook on Sunday, and when you let them off the hook in the playoff race, and you invite them right back into the thick of things, then I can only imagine what your city's been like. Is there fallout? There's always going to be fallout. You know, what that is right now, I don't know yet exactly. Early Wednesday, we'll see how the team reacts this week. But yeah, I was thinking of you guys on Sunday. Like that must have been something for you guys to have these last couple of days to talk about.
It's strange because they've skated by so many of these big wins. But, Adam, the way I looked at it was this, even though it really upset, the loss was upsetting in the way it happened. If you told me Packers, Lions, Cowboys in a 3-game stretch, if any Eagles fan was saying, oh, yeah, they go 3-0 in that stretch, I think they're full of it. I mean, to go 2-1 in that stretch and be sitting where they are, it's now what you do from this adversity on that's going to tell me what they are.
John, I'm so glad you're a voice of reason on these things. That it's very nice to hear that, and you're right. I agree with that. They're still in a position that they'd want to be in. It's still set up for them to do what they want to do. And let me see the schedule here the rest of the season.
Bears, and then at the Chargers on Monday Night Football, which you'll be a part of. And then they have the Raiders at home, and then it's Commanders, Bills, Commanders. So, I mean, they have 3 of the last 4 games are 3-foot putts for this team.
Yeah. The only thing I would say to that, you're 100% right. Like, to me, the worst they're going to do is the 2 seed. 2 seed.
Yeah.
But if we look at the Rams schedule down the stretch.
Which I have. Panthers,
Rams
Cardinals.
At Carolina.
Yep.
At Arizona. At Carolina, at Arizona. Should win both, but it's still back-to-back road games. Home for Detroit. They'll be fired up for that one. At Seattle, not easy. At Atlanta.
They'll be dead by. They'll be eliminated by then.
Who?
Atlanta.
Well, I'm not worried about it. They're not. Yeah, that's not going to be. That's not going to be much of an issue. And then Arizona the last week. So, I mean, when I look at that, the Rams at worst are going to go 4-2.
Yeah, they're winning. They're winning 13. The Rams are winning 13. The Eagles got to get to 13. And if the Rams win 14, you're screwed.
Right. So if the Rams. So wait, hold on. So okay. So they're going to. Right now, the Rams are 9-2.
Yeah. So if they go 4-2, they win 13. The Eagles have to win. The Eagles have to win 13 to tie them and then win the 1 seed.
And the Eagles right now are 8-3, right?
Yep. They got to go 5-1.
Yeah. So are they going to go 5-1? You tell me.
Yes.
All right, you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Adam Schefter joins us here on Kincade Salciunas. But, Schefter, we also have our Eagles insider that works here on 97.5 The Fanatic. The great Andrew DeCecco is in studio with us as well. So, Andrew, go ahead.
Hey, Adam. So the Chicago Bears coming to Philadelphia on Black Friday. What do you make of this 8-3 Bears team under Ben Johnson?
A couple of things. First of all, they've been very opportunistic. This is a defense that has feasted on turnovers. I think they lead the league right now in getting turnovers, which they deserve a lot of credit for. Dennis Allen is the defensive coordinator. When that happens, that is the greatest recipe there is for winning football games, getting turnovers and leading the league in that category. Is that going to continue? Well, it has all year. Like, it seems like when these things happen, they just keep going for the rest of the season. So Chicago has that going for it defensively. Offensively, you've been able to see Ben Johnson mold Caleb Williams into the type of quarterback that he hoped he would be. And it just seems to be getting better and better over time. And I think one of the biggest questions going into the season, the biggest questions was, what was the marriage between Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams going to be like? And I think it's been an adjustment for both. And I think that they've really started to come together, as is evidenced in their record and their performance. And I think the Bears have a realistic chance to win the division, which is nobody would have thought that. Very few people would have thought that going in. Very few people. But they're on that path. They're on that path where they're going to have a chance.
Adam, we've been in this weird spot of, is it more like 2023, more like 2024 for weeks now? You know it when you join us every single Wednesday. In 2023, we know that the Eagles stripped Sean Desai of play calling as the defensive coordinator and gave it to Matt Patricia. I'm not asking you if there's any whispers for Kevin Patullo, but I will ask you, how drastic would it have to be for the Philadelphia Eagles to make that decision with Kevin Patullo at this stage of the season, 11 games in?
Here's the thing. I don't think you do anything publicly. Like in Detroit, Johnny Morton was brought in as the offensive coordinator. And it was supposed to be very quiet and very nonchalant and very subtle, even though it turned out not to be as such. But they handled it this way. Dan Campbell took over the play call. He just took it over. There one Sunday, a couple of weeks ago, there he is on the sideline, headset, play card, play sheet, doing what he's doing. And he talked about, that Johnny Morton still has an important role, but this is how it's going to be. And I don't know where they're at with that. I haven't asked. I haven't checked. But maybe they get to that where Nick is doing more play calling over time. That could be, if they're not happy. That would be an option. Those are Nick's roots. That's what he's done before. Maybe there's more of an influence there. I don't know. But again, you're reacting after one loss. They were 21-0. It was an organizational failure, a team failure, offense, defense, special, the whole thing.
I will say I'm also reacting to the 10 points against the Packers and the 16 points against the Lions.
I mean, the offense is struggling for a while.
I understand. No, listen. What is the run game a shell of what it was from last year because of Kevin Patullo?
No,
maybe
offensive line.
Okay, so is that Kevin Patullo?
No.
Like, the offensive line is not – it's just not pushing and getting it done where it matters. And if you look at the numbers – give me 1 second. I got it on my phone here. And I'm going to read to you. Okay, so last year at this time – here we go. A year ago, as of this week, Saquon Barkley had 223 carries for 1,392 yards and averaged 6.2 yards per carry. Write that down. Yep. 223,
sure.
1,392, 6.2. This year, 185 carries, so we're talking about 38 fewer. Not that much over 12 games. 38 fewer 11 games. 684 yards. 3.7 yards per carry. He's averaging 2.5 yards less per carry. He has almost half the rushing yardage from last year. Why is that? I mean, that's jarring. Now, maybe, Lane Johnson out with the Liz Frank injury. That's a big loss. Cam Jurgens, his knee is not great. I don't know, Tyler Steen at right guard for Mekhi Becton, who left in free agency. Barkley had all the work he did. Whatever it is, the numbers are halved. The explosive runs that they routinely got last year are not there. The big plays they got are not there. The consistent run game is not there. It just becomes a lot harder to win football games, to put away a 21-0 lead when you're not running the ball effectively, and they're not. By the way, Rex Ryan keeps saying this in studio. We're watching the game Sunday and Monday together because obviously on Sunday we all do Sunday Countdown. I love those guys. We go to this conference room. We watch all the games together. And then on Monday, me, Rex, Dan Orlovsky, Damian Woody, whoever it is, Mike Greenberg, we're doing Get Up. And I'm just telling you, Rex keeps saying they need to play Tank Bigsby more, that he's more explosive.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that a few times. Not 15 carries.
Hard, yeah, it's hard to do.
But like 5 to 6 carries because it seems like when he touches the ball, he gets positive.
Dan Orlovsky's been extremely critical of the offensive play calling, though. And
they talk about
and he points it out with video to prove his points, which I think is very good.
I think my takeaway from that, and I'm not an X's and O's guy, that's their job.
Right.
But what I take from them is that all these motions and movements that the Rams and 49ers and the Shanahan tree have, that doesn't happen in Philly. It's very predictable.
No, Nick Sirianni has once said, we don't motion just to motion. And look, in fairness, the Miami Dolphins, it's not like it's going well for them offensively, and they're flying all over the place. Now, lastly, Shefty, Thanksgiving-related questions. We have 2 on the table for the people. 1, if you were the guest, does Adam Schefter feel the need to try everything? And 2, what is football like in Adam Schefter's childhood? Because obviously it's a little bit different. But when you were a kid, were you allowed to watch football, or did you have to plant your butt at the dinner table?
You know, I don't remember. Well, it's not that I don't remember. My childhoods didn't. We used to play a turkey bowl every year, so that's what I remember in the morning of Thanksgiving. You know, me and all my high school friends and our fathers would play a turkey bowl. And then I remember coming home like from Colorado one year early in my professional career, going to play, and I couldn't move my hamstrings the next day. And I'm like, okay, well, we're done with turkey bowls.
That's awesome.
But I didn't watch football then the way I do now.
Right.
And also, and I'll be honest, it was a pre-fantasy age. So like I'm aware of football and I'm following football, but a lot of times we were going to my grandparents' house and you're traveling an hour away or whatever it was. So football, you know. My holiday as a kid didn't revolve around football.
Right.
The way that it does as an adult, if that makes any sense.
Right. I can imagine Adam putting out the injury report pregame, though, for the Turkey Bowl. You know, who's probable,
who's out, probable,
who's out,
who's got a bum ankle.
Yeah.
John, you know, I'm just telling you, a different day and age. Like that was a different time in my life. Another lifetime ago. I would, you would think that now, and I like that, but
no,
just not the way I was and not the way I lived.
There you
go. It has become, for better or worse, my life, but wasn't. You know, I'm blessed and I feel fortunate, but it would be kind of cool to have one day like that where there were no responsibilities and expectations, right? Like, so that would be kind of cool.
That's why you have July. That's why you have July 4th. Shafty, that's your
one
time.
day you can do it.
As the people on the show say, the only holiday in the NFL is July 4th.
Exactly. You're the man, Shefty. We appreciate the time as always.
Adam.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, and we'll talk to you next week.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody in the city of Philadelphia.
There is Adam Schefter on the Comcast Business Hotline. All right, you heard the voice of Andrew DeCecco. He's now with us for the remainder of the show today. We're going to do questions for DeCecco at 9:10 today. Coming up next, we're doing today's headlines with Connor Thomas, and I need to get Andrew's answers on the 2 Thanksgiving-related questions we have so far. It is Kincade and Salciunas with Andrew DeCecco, the remainder of the show here on The Fanatic. All right, it's 8:14 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We're about to do today's headlines with Connor Thomas, but I need to get Andrew DeCecco up to speed here. So, Andrew, we have obviously Eagles-related topics today, but it's the day before Thanksgiving. And so we have some Thanksgiving-related topics that we've been throwing out to the people. The first one, I think I might – actually, I don't know how you're going to answer this one because I know you're a man who likes to try food, but I also know that you're like a – no, damn it, I don't want to kind of guy. So, if you're the guest at Thanksgiving.
What am I getting into here?
If you're the guest at Thanksgiving, do you feel the need to sample everything that is prepared, that somebody took the time to make?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just me. That's my nature. I want to try everything. And, yes, it is courteous because some, people spent time making it. So.
Thank you.
The least
So
you can do,
try
especially if you
everything?
didn't contribute, is to try something.
Thank you.
And
I
not
have
let it go to
these
waste.
two that if I don't like it, I'm not going to eat it. The only person on our YouTube chat, Greg. So you, me, and Greg are
I
the
commend
only
you, Greg.
three
Yeah.
people that I told Greg he could come over anytime he wants. So you can open invitation. Come
Yeah.
over anytime you want, and we'll make dinner tonight together, and we'll eat it.
Yeah, I mean, it's common courtesy. That's just the way that I
They
feel.
looked at me like I was a nutcase.
No, I mean it's more along the lines of I'm not going to try something that I know I'm not going to eat. Something that I'm
But,
not
like, you don't have to take a sizable portion,
Yeah, a
right? I mean,
spoonful.
I'm not
it's
just going to
you
leave it
can
on the
sample
plate.
it.
Oh, I can't. You see, I'm not going to sample
See,
it.
I said this to John yesterday on post-show headlines. I'm the guy that at a cookout, if there's a lot of something remaining, I feel the need to put it on my plate because I feel bad that somebody prepared that.
Yeah, I find it almost insulting. If somebody takes the time, I'm going to make sure that I at least sample it.
I'm shocked that I did not. Now, I thoroughly expected he wasn't going to answer this way. I thoroughly expected that you were going to say, if I don't like something, I'm not eating it.
Yeah, obviously, it's as I say, insulting. That's me, tongue in cheek.
you're
But
right.
but I think it's just common courtesy to take a moment and sample something that someone spent a lot of time
Thank you.
and money to get to make the
Thank
stuff.
you. Thank you. I know you're a good person.
See, I'm
one,
shocked by the answer.
more so as a kid, what was the football viewing like? Were you allowed? Because to me and my family, remember there used to only be 2 games. I would always watch the 12:30 game, but dinner took forever, and I was not allowed to leave the table. So I usually missed the second game. What was the childhood like for you?
Well, obviously the TV was always on and plugged into whatever NFL game was going on, but it was just more along. There wasn't anything set in stone, but it was more known that, when it's time to eat, you got to give your undivided attention to. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
You're here to spend time and catch up with relatives that you don't see often. And I think I've always grown up in that type of culture, so that's why family is really important to me, and that's why it's my favorite holiday. But there's time to watch football afterwards, and usually the TV ended up watching me, and still does. But it was family time.
I would miss the second game every year as a kid because we were,
And that was usually the best game.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I never thought
the
that
Lions were
hour
the first.
that you're sitting there is asking too much.
Oh, it was more than an hour for us, man.
Well, yeah, depends.
His family, they sit long time.
Yeah, long time.
Like at the table, it's a long seating. I would say that's.
Sorry, Connor.
That's
Real
rough.
quick, give us the headlines.
Today's headlines with the Connor
Brought to us
Thomas.
by who?
Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers, visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com.
Matt, you might as well come with the best story.
Okay. College Football Playoff Committee. They had an interview with Reese Davis on ESPN, and the guy running it, the chairman, Hunter Yurachek, clearly seems to be zoned in on the very important decisions that his committee has to make. Take a listen to his answer to a very poignant question from Reese Davis about the seeding.
Change at 6-7 with Oregon and Ole Miss swapping spots. How much of an impact potentially could it be on Ole Miss if it's determined they don't have their head coach in the field? 6-7.
Come on.
I need this to be done. I need this to be done.
Don't be grumpy old man.
This stupid 6-7
Don't be
thing.
back.
I
Don't be
have
grumpy
no
old
idea what
It's
it even
a
is.
stupid
It's not
TikTok
meant for.
trend.
It's not for. It's
It
not
is
for
stupid.
us.
It's
It's
stupid.
not for us.
You know who I respect? Amy Fadul. So Amy and her husband were 6 and 7 for Halloween,
Yes.
with the hope that if parents start doing it,
Make it uncool.
The kids would be like, this isn't cool anymore.
That's clever.
I respect
Clever.
Amy for doing that.
It's not stuff that's not meant for you. Just let other people enjoy it. I'm surprised at you with this.
I think it's just it's two numbers.
Hey, I just have no clue what we're even talking about.
And that's perfect because it's on brand for you to not give a damn about it. Wouldn't care about it.
All right, coming up next, we ask Andrew DeCecco our main topic of the day. We had two different answers from Tim McManus and Dave Zingaro. Where does Andrew DeCecco fall on whether or not the best football for the Eagles is still ahead or behind us? It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about that FanDuel Sportsbook app because tomorrow is a big day for betting. This Thanksgiving, FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, is introducing a brand new way to build a parlay together. It's called Pass the Leg. Now, what I would suggest is to probably build the parlay before you get to the house, right? So that you're not sitting at the dinner table going, I got to throw in this last leg here. Here's how it works. You start a group build, add your pick, then pass it to your friends so they can add theirs. When everyone's done, you each lock in the group parlay with your own funds because football is better when it's played and bet together. And to make it even better, everyone gets a 50% profit boost to build on their own. So here's what you can do. You can go all the money lines. You can go all the spreads if you want. Maybe you do the SGP Plus, which is a bet from one game to another game to another game to another game. So you could have somebody bet anytime touchdowns for one game, and then you pick another game, and your buddy picks another game. And all of a sudden, you have all three games together to pay attention to throughout the course of the day. So grab your crew, start your build, and get into the action this Thanksgiving with Pass the Leg. Visit FanDuel.com/Fanatic. That's FanDuel.com/Fanatic to get started. FanDuel, play your game. You got to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania, opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Trying to get Saquon going. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are trying to figure out how to get that run game going. We talked to Adam Schefter about that earlier, and Kevin Patullo talked yesterday about really the issues with Saquon and what they're trying to do.
We're trying pretty much anything and everything we can to find ways to get him going. I know the guys are excited for something new this week, to see if we can get it going. And we know it's not going to be like last year. We just got to find our way this year and really work through it.
I think the fan base would be excited to see something new this week as well. This week will be coming quickly as Eagles take on the Bears on Black Friday in Philadelphia. And with the short week, it was only an estimation based on a walkthrough when we got the injury report yesterday. But in addition to the known Lane Johnson and Drew Makuba injuries, Devontae Smith was listed as a non-participant with a shoulder/chest injury. Something to keep an eye on as we draw closer to the Black Friday matchup with Chicago at the Link. Nick Sirianni will meet with media today at 11:50. Sixers got absolutely torched by the Magic last night. They gave up 86 first-half points, 144-103 the final in that one. They're off till Friday. Flyers take on the Panthers tonight down in Florida. Puck drops at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Andrew DeCecco remains with the guys for the remainder of the show. This update is brought to you by Groundworks, your trained and certified experts for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. Our man Andrew DeCecco with us for the remainder of the show. Obviously, we had to pivot some things because usually you're on with us on Thursdays. But because tomorrow is Thanksgiving, you're on with us today. And so normally we introduce you at 7:55, but we had Shefty at 7:55. And so normally we'll do questions with DeCecco at 8:10. That's coming your way at 9:10. So if you have any questions for Andrew DeCecco, football-related Eagles Cowboys recap, or this upcoming game against the Bears on Friday, start texting them in now so Connor can put them to the side at 610-632-0975. Now, speaking of Connor, I feel horrible that we could only get to one headline story. So
it's all right.
What else did we have today?
Well, we were going to talk about Ketel Marte. There are some rumors that he could be in play for the Phillies, a 50-50 chance that he could be moved by the Diamondbacks, according to John Morosi of MLB Network. So that's a really intriguing option there for the Phils.
32 years old, right?
32, yes. He has
32
5 years
5 years
remaining
left.
on his deal. Not too pricey,
It's on
though.
brand. It's on brand.
It's about $90 million and change remaining, which would put him at the annual yearly value that you're currently paying Nick Castellanos.
Phillies only have like 5 starters of their starting 8 in the field, 35 and above in a couple of years. It's just it's asinine.
He's a hell of a player. I like him a lot.
He is,
I
but
like
you're
him a
just
lot.
saying we're putting all our eggs into the short-term basket because in a few years you are going to be a team in baseball that nobody has ever fielded before.
I would just love to not see a platoon player at second base for the first time in
That'd be nice.
Since Chase Utley.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
I don't think that's too much to ask.
Yeah.
No,
Every year the Phillies tell you what they think about Bryson Stott. Oh, it's the playoffs? Oh, he's not playing today because there's a
Yes.
lefty on the mound.
and he's a switch hitter, so you don't even have to worry about the handedness.
And he can play outfield too.
He can play short,
He can play
second,
outfield.
center.
He can play outfield exceptionally, which to me is probably the most attractive thing thinking about it.
Right.
Is that you do have the flexibility. I would figure you'd probably have to give him a position, though.
He's going to play second if he comes here, but you're getting a second baseman that's basically guaranteeing you hitting 280 and giving you 25 bombs. Like, that's a lineup-changing move.
You're assuming, though, that the Arizona Diamondbacks are interested in taking Bryson Stott off their hands. I'm not. I'm not assuming that that's going to be like a big key that they're going to go, yeah, we'll take that. I don't think Stott's got that. Aiden Miller is what I've been told. Aiden Miller is the guy who would have to go.
It would be one of the Phillies' top prospects.
And
yes.
it's not going to be Andrew Painter. They're not going to trade Andrew Painter to get a 32-year-old second baseman.
Right.
They're not doing that. So that's not going in that deal.
Was there anything else?
Yeah, there was also a big underage drinking bust out in Arizona, but that's one we can leave in the holster there.
Did Ray Dunn get busted
I'm more
in it?
intrigued by that than Ketel Marte and 6'7".
249 kids got out in Tempe by an underage drinking bust at the Tempe Tavern. And that is just...
Wait, at one time?
All at one time.
Wait, they had... First off, this is a big enough tavern to hold 249 people,
Yes.
number one.
Most bars can, right?
But how do you allow... How do 249 underage people?
It's a college bar.
That could have
And
happened
They were letting
at-
a bunch of kids in.
At Pagano's, back on Pagano's at 39th Street, back when I was in college, that could have happened to me 100 times.
Yeah, and I guess fake IDs have
Yes.
probably gotten better.
Oh, they're better.
So, like, I
They're
get
better.
it, but, man, 249, jeez.
Yeah, but just a reminder on Thanksgiving Eve, because a lot of people are going to be out drinking tonight, make smart choices.
Ubers. I saw
Yes.
my wife got an email from one of the districts recently that all throughout like Jersey, like the Gloucester County area, there's going to be stops everywhere.
Good.
Like, and which is good.
Good. Yeah, we love it.
So
Be
get an
smart.
Uber.
Yeah, be
Get an Uber
smart.
tonight. And they're not going to be doing these stops at 4:00 in the afternoon. It's going to be at night when a lot of you are doing the whole biggest drinking day of the year. So just be smart.
Just be smart. I'm
All
still
right.
trying to wrap my head around how many people got busted. What did all of their IDs say McLovin?
Right. Exactly.
I mean,
Now, wait a minute, though. You guys were in a tougher time. I can tell you, my time,
Was easy.
fake IDs were easy.
Yeah.
Like it was easy, and getting into places with fake IDs. And no, the folks at Pagano's back on 39th Street that no longer is there.
Yeah.
It was the biggest spot back in the day, and everybody could get in there when you were in college. That's what you could do.
249. It was like the DEA.
I
was like-
remember.
That's crazy.
By the way, I remember running out of there a couple times when police came in, and slipping out a side door because they were checking.
Smart.
John Kincade, the rebel.
They were checking IDs.
That's what they all call him.
That's what happened.
On the YouTube chat and everywhere.
It is.
All right, so our main question today, Andrew, it's amazing because I was driving in this morning and I was thinking about the dates, November 26th, right? And I was like, why does that sound familiar? Well, November 26th of 2023 was when the Eagles beat the Bills in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
They went 1-5 the rest of the way in the regular season and lost in the first round of the playoffs. November 24th of last year was when they beat the Rams, and then went on to win 5 out of their last 6 and then win the Super Bowl. So they had the complete opposites. 1-5 first round loss, 5-1 win the Super Bowl. I'm not trying to do the whole does it feel like 2023. Our question, though, is do you believe that the best football has been behind the Eagles or is still ahead of them? Considering 23, clearly the best football was behind them. Considering 24, the best football was ahead of them because they got better as the year went on. Do you believe the best football is still to be played for the Eagles or is it behind them?
Yeah, I think it's going to be between the 2 seasons that you outlined. And I do believe their best football is ahead, to be clear.
Okay.
Because of the talent that they have, it also helps that they face the Commanders twice and the Raiders. So there's going to be some games that I believe will be reminiscent of the Giants game where they had that outpouring of offensive performance. And I just believe that the Eagles, they believe, and they preach this, that you want to be playing your best football in November and December so that you're carrying that momentum into January. The messaging is not stale. It's resonating. And they're not going to have 14 penalties for 96 yards every single week. So I think that they'll be able to – I'm not suggesting it's going to be like last season's run where they just completely are dominant throughout the rest of the slate. But I do believe that their best football is ahead.
How much is the good football ahead? Are you putting that on that you believe that good health will potentially assist in that? And how much is good health relying on making you correct in that assessment?
Well, that's a big one, John. I think the Eagles right now are healthier than most teams are at this stage of the game. So that plays a big part in it. You got to get a little luck in terms of health, but I don't think it becomes luck when the Eagles are continuously one of the more healthy teams in the NFL. They're clearly doing something right, and you have to credit the athletic training staff and how they practice, how they structure their practice for having so many players available at this stage of the season. You look at a team like the Detroit Lions, and you could argue, or you could look at the way that Dan Campbell runs his practices, and they're the walking wounded.
Yeah,
and there's 2 different approaches to this.
So my follow-up, because you say you believe not as drastic as last year, but you still believe the best football is ahead of them. I'm going to ask you, and it's a very vague question. Do you believe they can win? And by win, we're talking, big picture, like get to an NFC championship. I'm not even saying win a Super Bowl. Just get to an NFC championship game. Can they win playing this way? And this way is the defense is dominant, but I don't think anybody can tell me, looking me in the eyes and say, the offense is going to get drastically better. It might improve, but I don't think all of a sudden the offensive line is going to be healthy enough for Saquon to average 5 yards per carry again. And for Saquon to run the football well will then make the offensive passing game better. Do you believe the way that they have played this season, they can win, quote unquote, this way?
See, I'm conflicted because I view them as the most talented and best team in the NFL. But based off of what I've seen offensively, you have to be able to do more in the postseason. You can't just turn it on and turn it off for a quarter or a half. So for me, it's hard to envision them being able to win a Super Bowl the way that they are right now, despite having someone like Jalen Hurts, who's at his best when the lights are brightest.
Right.
You can't have this kind of sporadic offensive production and expect to be definitively. That's why it's hard sitting here on November 26th and saying, definitively they can do that, because it's a tough way to live when you're living on the edges as they have been for most of the season. Now, I do have a question for you guys.
Okay.
And we can save that for the other. We're going to do a little bit of a role reversal here because I want to see something. I have a question for you both, and I want to hear your answers.
Oh, I love that.
I love this.
A turning of the tables?
All right. We'll get to that coming up next. We're also going to play Rapid Fire with Vic Fangio because his answers are rapid fire sometimes. It's about all of the injuries and what could look different defensively for the Eagles. Then we'll get Andrew's thoughts on it all. But Andrew's got a question for us next, huh? We'll get that here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. On Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic on this Wednesday morning, the eve of Thanksgiving. We'll hope everybody has a fun time tonight, safely, of course, and then enjoys their Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Are you going out or anything? Or are you guys staying in? No, I mean, seriously. No?
Am I going out?
We're working tomorrow morning, Mr. Vacation.
I'm running.
On vacation tomorrow, John?
I will be running first of all, company outing. I'll be running a 5K tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm going to take my son to the bar tonight.
I'm not. Dude, you guys find ways to go out. Well, you're making it out like you don't go out.
They're messing with you.
We're going out on, my wife and I are going out Saturday for our anniversary.
Connor, you should go out.
I'm absolutely not going out.
Because he goes
Andrew,
out. He goes
Andrew,
out
you're
the
gonna be
other
going to your mom's
363
tonight, right?
days.
Yeah.
You don't
plus,
go out tonight. You're gonna be hanging with your friends.
Yeah, that's not my thing anyway.
Yeah.
I'm, I'm too old for all that.
I'm going to be out at the Downingtown games tonight over at the Ice Line, and a bunch of my former players are going. So I'm going to see Wicked this afternoon. So you're
going to be you signing 8x10s?
So then no, I'm going to go and hang out with my old players and have a little cocktail, and then hopefully be able to get up out of bed tomorrow morning and run.
It's weird.
And you will.
Jog, walk.
Yeah, it's weird because Philly is actually not great on Thanksgiving Eve because a lot of people move here.
Yeah, they went back home.
And then you go home for Thanksgiving Eve. So the city's normally dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go to an empty bar.
Well, I can tell you, Route 30, the bars on 30 are not. The bars in the borough are not.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're looking for something to do, those places are usually hot.
Landmark in Glassboro was it was like the mini high school reunion every Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Shout out Dunleavy's in Hainsport, New Jersey.
All right, what was your question for us, Mr. DeCecco?
So this was sparked by a clip that I saw of John Kincade talking about play calling duties as it pertains to Nick Sirianni.
Okay.
So I know you guys have been, and you're not the only ones, have been very critical of Kevin Patullo. So my question that I'm posing to both of you is, if not Kevin Patullo, who would you guys like to see call plays?
I've never said I want to strip Kevin Patullo. I'm just saying I don't think the Kevin Patullo hire was good. And
I think this was probably more of a John question based off of the clip, but
yes.
My one thing, and I'm sorry, John. My one thing is, like, if anything, sometimes when things are spiraling out of control, you look to the leader, right? And I know Nick Sirianni has already said
that's what most teams do.
So
we don't.
So I would look at I've never mentioned stripping Kevin Patullo. I just don't think he's good at it. Period. If that makes sense.
John?
No, it's like I would absolutely say 100%. Nick Sirianni, take the freaking wheel. Take the wheel. You're the head coach.
So you want Nick calling plays?
No, I'd be fine with it. But I also would say to myself there are guys who have been involved with calling plays before. And whether it's Parks Frazier before, who has been involved in doing it before, whereas you're asking a guy who is never Kevin Patullo to do it. You gave him the keys to a Lamborghini.
Right, but who do you like? Who do you want to do it?
I already told you. I answered definitively.
You said Sirianni, and you mentioned Parks Frazier.
I want the head coach to take the freaking wheel. You are the boss. You've been an NFL head coach for whatever. You've been an offensive coordinator in name only because you weren't play caller before you got here. You have to take control of your situation. It's not working.
It's his scheme, though. You know that, right?
Oh, I absolutely know.
It's not going to look a whole lot different.
Then he should have a better command of being able to, in the game, be able to pick the flow of how things go and what things get done. Because this is, as it was pointed out on national television by Dan Orlovsky, looking at the things, he goes, this is so rudimentary. It's rudimentary what they're doing and how they're doing it and laying over how things. He even laid out things with Kellen Moore compared to last year, how they've regressed as far as play calling.
I guess the point that I'm getting at is it's not going to make a drastic difference.
Oh, because of the scheme.
Because of the scheme. The scheme is etched in stone. Now, would a breath of fresh air maybe alter something? Perhaps, but this is an 8-3 football team.
Yeah.
And I don't know that you make that kind of a change. And at this stage of the game,
when they were a 9-1 or they were a 9-2 football team, they made a change a few years ago. Defense.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Okay, did you think
they got considerably worse on that side of the ball?
Do you think it was because of that? Like, do you think that?
Yes, I think that played a big part in it.
So you're saying it would absolutely repeat itself because it happened then, that it would absolutely repeat itself now?
It's not definitive. Nothing is, but that's, I guess, the best example of you don't want to make change for the sake of making change because it can be worse.
Okay.
And Matt Patricia's a better defensive mind, I think it's fair to say, based off track record than Sean Desai. But when you're making that kind of change, you're trying to completely abandon or mix in your own principles after you've learned something for a whole offseason at training camp and been doing something all season long. It could lead to more disarray.
It's more, I think the disarray is four different players saying over the course of 3 weeks, that's a KP question. They're tired of answering questions about why this thing is looking like it does.
I do wonder. And
they're saying, ask Kevin Patullo.
Andrew, I'm curious your thoughts on this. If they did, let's say Nick took the reins or he gave it to a Loeffler, or he gave it to Leffler, whoever he gives it to, right?
Who has called plays, by the way?
Is that
in college?
Is that a bad message to the team? Like, could that almost be like, yeah, it's bad. I'm now finally acknowledging it. Could that almost have a bad message sent to the players?
No, I don't think so. Everyone's a professional. It's it's the NFL. Things happen, but I just don't know if there's an obvious answer, and it's something I asked the question because I not only heard John talking about it in a clip, but I see a lot of it scrolling through social media. And my first thing is, okay, well, who do you want? Like, does anybody know that Jason Michael was an offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans in 2014 and 2015 under Mike Mularkey? Does anyone know that Scott Leffler hasn't called plays in the NFL before? Everybody wants to make change for the sake of change, but they don't really have a definitive answer as to how they want to go about doing it.
But I think that's
so.
It's kind of
befuddling to me, and that's why I was like, okay, well, who do you guys want? What can you tell me about him?
Well, the thing is, though, that's a moving talking point, though. That moving talking point has come from the people, though. It seems like now I've heard that talking point, and then it's the idea as though it's the people that have been telling you all along. It's not. It's either they've been telling you it's not Kevin Patullo's fault, which I think now players clearly saying, ask Kevin Patullo. That is clearly, ask Kevin Patullo these answers. Ask him to answer these questions.
Well, he's the offensive coordinator.
We're tired of being asked these same questions because they're asking these questions.
He's the offensive coordinator, so
but
he'll be able to better answer.
Yeah, and they're tired of answering it. They're tired of being questioned. They're tired of being held accountable for why. Why do things look so vanilla? Why are things not getting better? Well, you got to ask him. I think that's one of the things is the talking points are moving with Kevin Patullo.
Yeah, the offense needs to be better. The play calling needs to be better. No one was going to dispute that. But it's hard to win in the NFL when you have 14 penalties.
Can we at least acknowledge this? That the thought process going into the year that, well, he's been around. It'll be okay. He's been around. He's been involved in this process.
He has.
It has been a disaster. It hasn't worked.
It hasn't worked to this point, but there have been glimpses of the offense.
The red zone. Red zone's spectacular.
Well, just look at the first portion of the Dallas game looked pretty good too. But what if I were to tell you that Saquon Barkley's about 1,057 yards? He's on pace for 1,057 yards less than what he had last season.
He is.
That's foundationally what the Eagles want to do, and they can't do it.
Sure.
They had 14 penalties in that game.
Right?
Well, now they're having to alter that, and they're still trying to commit to the run, but they're not designed to be a pass-heavy team. This is Nick's scheme. That's not what they want to do. So last season, a lot of these same issues were there, but they had the running game to atone for that. And so it wasn't as much of a talking point because you weren't able to fixate on it as much. So, and there were points where Brian Johnson was here, and the same issues were there as well. So I agree with you guys. The play calling needs to be better. But it is such a multifaceted discussion. It's a nuanced discussion.
But hasn't their pass blocking been considerably better than their run blocking this year?
Not against Dallas, it wasn't.
No. The course of the year. So why are they not built to be a better passing team?
Well,
when your offensive line is doing better pass blocking, then Nick has to make the adjustment.
That's the $64,000 question, John. Come on down.
That is. So that's a different show.
Coming up next, we play Rapid Fire with Vic Fangio. I have 5 clips for you, but they all span like a total of 30 seconds. It's kind of like Saquon Barkley's yards per carry before he gets contact. What was the total? 5 yards total?
5 yards on Sunday.
That was fun. You'll hear that coming up next. Then we'll get Andrew's thoughts on what the Eagles could do defensively, especially with some of the players that may be absent due to injury. It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Wednesday morning, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A quick turnaround. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles have a quick turnaround from their loss in Dallas to taking on the Bears this Friday at the Link, and they put out their first injury report of the week ahead of that matchup with the short week. It was just an estimation based on a walkthrough, but Devontae Smith was listed as a non-participant with a shoulder/chest injury, adding that to the known Lane Johnson and Drew Makuba injuries. The Birds are a little bit banged up, and they're still trying to figure out the offense as well. Kevin Patullo talked yesterday about the differences between the first and second halves this year.
So it hasn't been one specific thing, and that's where we got to kind of find our way and just say, okay, first half, second half, what else can we build on? What else can we do from there? If it was one thing, I think it would obviously present itself a little bit easier to us.
Clearly, there's a lot that the Eagles need to figure out ahead of their matchup Friday with the Bears. Nick Sirianni will meet with the media today at 11:50. The Sixers got smoked by the Magic last night, 144-103. They are off till Friday. Flyers take on the Panthers tonight down in Florida. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Andrew DiCecco remains with us for the remainder of the show. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Despite wintry conditions and heavy traffic, holidays must go on. That's why Mercedes-Benz SUVs come with the latest safety technology. Find incredible offers at the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right. Yearly reminder. Before I actually have another question off of the Patullo thing for Andrew DeCecco once they get their headphones on and stop chit-chatting over here.
He was talking about the young and the restless.
I was being asked to set up somebody for a visit, which you know about. Being shaken down I was being shaken down by somebody to get somebody to visit the set.
Let's get to these questions.
I have one more follow-up on the Patullo stuff, and then we're going to play rapid fire with Vic Fangio, and then I have a annual little reminder that I always give people about the day, about Thanksgiving.
What's that?
And the eating habits, but we'll get to that in a second. The Patullo stuff. So I understand your point of like, all right, who do you want to give it to? And anybody could give any of the names that you've mentioned.
Sure.
And I understand that there is a concern that it could be worse, right? Especially this late into the season. It's not like you're going to completely change the system. If you do, that might be really difficult to do. You can install some plays, but you can't install an entire new playbook.
Also, run blocking.
Right,
basic,
all that stuff.
Elements to what they want to do.
Right. So I think one point that people make, and I'll say right now is, all right, so Patullo, in his career, his resume, he has called plays for 11 games. Like 11 total games he has called plays. So I understand that there is a chance it may not improve, but is there a legitimate shot that it could get so much worse that a guy that has called 11 total games, and those 11 games have been in the 2025 NFL season, compared to some other guys that have done it at any point? You mentioned Loeffler. He did it in college, but at least he did it in college. Right, like
for Temple, Virginia Tech, Boston College.
At least he
he
knows the feel.
Yeah.
I don't know if Patullo knows the feel of. He knows football. I'm not saying he doesn't. Know football.
He's a very smart guy. I know what you're saying.
Right.
And yes, I will say that play calling, and I've said this to you guys before. Play calling is an art. It's not a science.
Right.
And you can be a bright offensive mind, but there's so much that goes into it in terms of sequencing, knowing when to call a play, establishing plays to set something up for later in the game and things like that. So I do think that there's a lot of validity to what you're saying.
Like, I'm not saying like Loeffler's going to all of a sudden be like Peyton Manning at the line of scrimmage, right? Like, it's just this guy has 11 career games under his resume. And I would say 8 of them have been with this offense, right? Subpar? Like 8 out of 11 games. You had the full game against the Giants, which is great. The Vikings game was better.
They have some of the worst halves of football in football this year, of halves, of so many games where one half of the game is terrible.
Right.
Over and over again.
So is there a chance that somebody could do just as good of a job, if not slightly better, just because of the feel of calling the play?
I mean, I'm not so sure that this is the stage of the season that you want to risk that, right? I mean, I guess in theory it could get worse if you do that, but I don't think that if you keep everything the way that it is, it'll be worse. I think more or less it'll remain the way that it is, if not get a little bit better based off of the opposition.
Is that good enough?
Well,
because I don't think that it is.
Not with the talent that they have. Not with the talent that they have. But again, I go back to something that I've said throughout the season. I know that, what you guys do in sports talk radio, everybody wants to assign blame and find the primary or the one culprit as to why the offense isn't reaching its expectation. But in reality, and this is the way that it is, there are a lot of different components that factor into it. Some have more of a sizable hand than others, but there are a lot of components. If you can't run the football and the Eagles are a run-first team,
right,
you're going to have some problems. If you have 14 penalties in the game, and they've had a lot of games where they've had executional errors and mental lapses. They've also had a lot of games where you can question the play calling. If you have all of these different things at play, you're going to see an offense that's going to be stuck in neutral or at least static for a large part of the season.
To be fair, I don't think Loeffler all of a sudden has Saquon running 6 yards per carry.
I just wonder why.
I don't think that's going to all of a sudden change.
I'm going to ask what Kurt Warner's asked, what Dan Orlovsky's asked, what others have asked. Guys who played at quarterback in the NFL, what Nick Foles has asked. Why aren't you the offense doesn't have to be a run-first offense. It's a choice. It doesn't have to be. And when the offensive line is doing better at pass blocking than run blocking, it would say, why aren't you trying to be a run-first offense?
Well, I mean, they have Saquon Barkley.
Why aren't you trying to be a pass-first offense? You
They
can
have
get him involved in
Saquon
passing
Barkley.
game.
They have AJ,
They have A.J. Brown,
Devontae,
Devontae Smith,
Goddard.
and Dallas Goddard. I could give you that. They have 3 guys.
Yeah, but when you look at the season that Saquon Barkley had last season, that's going to be your primary focus, especially when everything that you do is predicated on ball security, protecting the football. I mean, you don't have to be, a genius to figure out that the less times you throw the football or take more chances, you're going to win the turnover battle, which gives you the better opportunity to win those games. And I think the Eagles have done a pretty damn good job of doing that since the last bye week. So that's why they adopted that same approach, the same approach that they won a Super Bowl with, to be clear.
The thing is, when it's not working, it's 11. I mean, it's Thanksgiving. When that philosophy isn't working, sometimes you got to go, we don't want to take risk, but it's not working. So we got to try something else.
I thought the let's not turn the ball, even though they did turn the ball over, approach shot them in the foot against the Cowboys. And it will against some offenses, right?
Yeah.
That's why before the Lions game, you and I were on the same page, even though the wind completely changed everything. But, hey, this is a team where you can't just be like, let's not turn the ball over.
I hear you.
You got to go downfield.
But that's their philosophy, man.
And it bit them in the ass against the Cowboys, right? Because the Cowboys said, all right, we got to come back and try to get into this football game. They go downfield multiple times and score and win.
And, to John's point, they went pass first against Dallas, and they had a lot of success doing that.
But they did. But the second half passing game looked nothing like the first half.
Well, this is a
game was
nuanced conversation, and I outlined this when I was on with you guys Monday. I didn't think that they took their foot off the gas, and I gave a lot of examples. The first one that I could think of, the first play of the third quarter, 8-yard completion of Grant Calcaterra. The second play was a 20-yard passing play to Dallas Goedert that was called back because of the penalty that was called on Matt Pryor, who was covered up. That's actually not Matt Pryor's fault. He was covered up. He was doing what he was supposed to do. But then there's the play before the Saquon Barkley play. It was a 16-yard completion, and then the next play, that gets called back, hands to the face, Fred Johnson, Saquon Barkley fumbles on the next play. A.J. Brown had a false start. All of a sudden, it's 1st and 25. When you're constantly behind the sticks, you really limit what you're able to do. I'm not making excuses. I'm just calling it the way that it is. This is factual, and that's why I say it would look a lot different if some of those plays were better executed due to and they weren't prone to executional lapses.
Yeah, 14 penalties.
14 penalties is crazy.
All right, let's play Rapid Fire with Fangio. By the way, you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Bang. Vic Fangio, I have 5 clips for you. And it's all based off of what the defense could potentially look like on Friday because a lot of injuries. Adoree Jackson with the concussion. Any update on Reed Blankenship?
He was yesterday's report was an estimation, so he was listed as limited with the thigh. Yesterday, Vic Fangio said he expects him to play. So
all right,
good
Drew
news there.
Makuba, we know, is out. Here was Vic Fangio on Sidney Brown.
I think he's been doing a good job in practice with the reps that he does get. He's done a good job staying in tune in the meetings and the walkthroughs, and I'm excited to see how he does.
Here was Vic Fangio on Cooper DeJean when he moved to safety last week when Makuba got hurt.
Beat a couple times. I thought he was tight. Just at the catch point, got beat. It's going to happen.
Here was Vic Fangio on Michael Carter.
I think he's a good player, good natural football player, understands the game, got good instincts, got good technique to his game. He's quick. Pleased to have him.
Here is Vic Fangio on a practice squad player that Andrew DeCecco has talked about in the past that could be elevated to safety, Andre Sam.
And Campy has the last 2 years. There's a chance he'll be elevated.
And lastly, here he is on Jacorian Bennett.
Yeah, he's been getting some reps, doing pretty good. I don't think we're going to truly know until he gets out there and has to play.
Rapid fire with Vic Fangio.
By the way, it's again, Connor, this is one to you. Again, it's what I always say. It's really easy for a coach to just answer questions, to not double talk you, to just give you an answer. Vic Fangio is brilliant at it.
It's really easy for some coaches.
Yeah, I mean, but
he's been
all they have to do is want to do it.
Kind of. I somewhat agree with you, but also Vic Fangio has been coaching in the league for 7,000 years.
So Andrew,
he may have figured it out.
How do you think the defense will look on Friday? I'm going to assume that Adoree Jackson is not playing because of the.
No, I mean he was a full part. He was listed in the walkthrough as a full participant. So here's the thing with Adoree Jackson. He was evaluated for a concussion, but he cleared. He was held out as precaution.
Oh, okay.
So he has to be he had to be listed on yesterday's report because he was evaluated and didn't come.
So then
back
he's starting.
So he's not even expected to. He's not expected to be on today's report at all. So
All right, so you would imagine he's
Yes.
the other
playing.
outside
What-
corner.
Did it look, to your analytical eye, did it look like he had as bad a game as my naked eye thought he had, or is that an overstatement?
I thought Adoree played fairly well.
Okay.
You have to always, it's all relative, but I think he's kind of stabilized that cornerback 2 role, and a lot of that has to do with the pass rush. That's alleviating a lot of pressure and taking some attention off of him. And I think that, Andrew, to your question, he would be the logical choice to reprise his role as the number 2 corner, opposite Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean at nickel, Reed Blankenship at safety, opposite Sidney Brown.
So Sidney Brown.
Yeah, so Sidney Brown's going to start, but it would be Michael Carter would be the third option. He can play safety. He was a safety at Duke. He actually overlapped with Eagles safeties coach Joe Casper, who was a graduate assistant in 2018 and 2019 and 2020.
Wow.
So there's some overlap there. And Andre Sam, well, you would think, based off numbers, that he would be elevated. Marcus Epps is still on injured reserve.
Okay, there you go. Thank you very much, Mr. DeCecco. Questions for DeCecco. They come your way next.
Get him in.
Whether you have a question from the previous game, the overall state for the Eagles, or Friday's matchup with the Chicago Bears, text them in at 610-632-0975. So we'll do questions for DeCecco coming up. And speaking of the Chicago Bears, I have a very specific question for Andrew at the bottom of the hour, which will help me prepare my show tomorrow. So you're basically doing my work for tomorrow, too. I hope you're okay with that. It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Wednesday morning, 97.5 The Fanatic. questions for DeCecco. Andrew, I need to ask your permission first. I have something that I want to bring up, but this is your segment, so I don't want to like step on your toes here.
Is it good?
Well, I have just a sort of something I want to address to the audience for their eating habits.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, just because I don't want to upset you like I upset Connor.
Go ahead, man.
So tomorrow, this is from a former professional eater that has won eating contests back in the day. I have.
Did you?
Yes, I have.
Nathan's Hot Dogs?
Yeah, wings. I was a big wing eating contest guy and pizza. People.
He was Chubby Tunas.
I was. People think
you should be proud of that, man. That's
I
good
am.
stuff.
People think that I'm not going to eat anything all day, and I'm gonna eat so much at Thanksgiving. Your stomach shrinks over the course of the day when you don't eat. So if you are the person that's like, I'm going to eat so much food at Thanksgiving, make sure you graze throughout the course of the day.
That's good. That's good advice.
It's advice.
That's
it's actually
sound.
scientific
Well,
advice.
it's sound advice, and you're talking to a semi-professional. At least I like to think that I am.
Yeah.
I've had this down to a science. It's what I do when I go to all-you-can-eat places.
I know, you
Brazilian steakhouses.
Oh,
because you don't want to get full after like 4 bites because your stomach is shrunk.
Yeah, that's a rookie move. And, here's the other thing. Later in the meal, eat a salad. Your stomach expands.
Leafy greens, very important for balancing that out.
These are important bits of information.
Maybe wear
That's great
sweatpants.
Sweatpants is important. All right. Time now for questions for DeCecco. So hit us with some football music. Notice I gave you a little extra time. What do we got, Connor?
We've got some great questions from our listeners. We'll start off with Colby in Central PA, who says, do you see the Eagles potentially changing philosophy offensively and start to throw the ball all over? Turnovers be damned. I think we got to make a change.
Yeah, what's up, Colby? That's not going to happen. This is Nick Sirianni's philosophy. He believes in it with such conviction, and I think when you look at their track record, as I was talking to the guys about, it's hard to dispute it. So I don't think that will happen. Not this season.
All right.
We've got a question here from Philly Porty. I think that's their given name, saying, isn't run blocking an offensive line on Stoutland? How much blame does he deserve in the issues with the run game this year?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's the offensive line coach. He's also the run game coordinator. So that's another name that we haven't talked about. This is why when I say collective, I know some out there may be rolling their eyes, but there's a lot of components to this whole thing. And, yeah, the offensive line has not performed to their standard in terms of run blocking. And I think a lot was made about the handling of Saquon Barkley having 482 touches last season and how that might affect him moving forward. But I don't think enough was made about the attrition on the offensive line. I've said that a lot, and I really do believe that. I think that's playing into it. But, yeah, it should be discussed a little bit more than it has.
More Stoutland or more injury-based? Slash health?
I'm going to, based off of what I've seen just on tape, I'm going to say health.
All right. What else we got?
Something else on the offensive line. Kayla from Millville, New Jersey, Mike Troutville, asked, could you please ask Andrew DeCecco his plans to fix the offensive line, especially with Lane Johnson being banged up again?
Yeah, well, Fred Johnson's going to be your right tackle, and that's not going to change because the other options are Matt Pryor, and you have Miles Hinton, who is his 21-day practice window is open. He has to be activated to the 53 for that to even happen. They're going to roll with Fred. That's why he's here. Center for me, I mean, Cam Jurgens doesn't look like he's 100%. And he's trying to fight it out and gut it out. The offensive line has looked better in my estimation as the sample size is brief, but with Toth there at center. And, yeah, I mean, that's kind of that's what it's going to have to be. Options are a little limited there in terms of depth. You have Drew Kendall, who's a rookie, but he hasn't played. He played a handful of snaps in the Giants blowout. That's what they're going to have to roll with, and it's tough to get healthy. Now they have a little bit of a longer week to do that, knowing that they play the Chargers on Monday Night Football after this. But yeah, I mean that's kind of this configuration is what you can expect moving forward.
So I'm gonna add in something from our YouTube chat earlier this morning. One of our great commenters, Renee, who I know has been on the YouTube chat for forever. Renee was wondering why it almost makes it feel like the media overblows things and all that kind of stuff. Things will get fixed. And so I asked her, what's going to get fixed? And she said penalties will get fixed, like not 14 penalties in the game, but she also mentioned the offensive line will get fixed. I don't know how an offensive line gets fixed when I think it's health related.
Yeah, that's fair. And it's not, and I agree with you, it is health related. It's not a drop off in talent. That's just not the case. You can clearly see that Cam Jurgens, who is a Pro Bowl center, isn't playing to the level that we've seen because he's clearly battling through something to be out there. And he doesn't make excuses. He says, if we're out there, we're 100%.
Right.
Landon Dickerson's tough as nails, too. All of those guys across the line, they want to be out there and they want to execute. But it's hard to get healthy in the midst of a season. If the bye week couldn't do it, and the bye week's not enough time to really get healthy and reprieve, it's not really going to – it's hard to see how that happens.
So one of our other commenters, MBD, who chimes in often, this is not from today. This has just been over time. So I want your honest answer. He thinks it might be good to, like, almost give a guy a week off. Like, all right, Cam, just sit this one out, dude. Do you think that's something that they could do at this point of the season? Like, logically, not should they, but logically, could they do that?
Yeah, if it were me and I were calling the shots, which clearly I'm not, I would probably rest Cam for a week or two to try and get back to as close to full strength as possible. And it makes that decision all the more easier for me because Brett Toth played really good football when he's had his number called. So that's what I would do, because other than that, there isn't this block of time where you have a chance to heal, and you got to get ready for that stretch run.
Right. All right, what else we got?
We also have a check-in from Steve, who asks, with the Tank Bigsby thing, do you see it as more burst, defensive alignment, or offensive scheme that leads to him looking better than Saquon?
I think when Saquon's in the game, defenses are so keyed in on where he is, knowing that he is such a focal point that I don't want to say they sell out, but they're more cognizant of where he is. Whereas when Tank's in there, Tank likes to bounce things outside. He has a really good knack for creating his own hole, and I talked to him about that last Friday and about where the decisiveness comes from and things like that. But they're just different styles of runner. He runs really tough, just like Saquon. But I think that it's more so how defenses are playing the Eagles when Tank's in the game, and then you see him be able to create that kind of spark. I do believe that there should be a world where he gets about 6 or 7 carries a game just to divvy it up and provide a little bit more balance.
All right. Great work, Mr. DeCecco. We appreciate you, as always.
Can I ask you one thing?
No. Go ahead.
How do you watch a football game in a Thanksgiving crowd, like at a house?
I don't say anything. I just watch.
He just sits there.
That's what was my question.
Here's the thing, John. Like, you know me, I don't change. I'm the same all the time. So when I watch a game in the press box, I don't say anything. I take notes.
Right.
When I watch a game with friends, I don't say anything. When I watch a game with family, same thing.
So it's the same thing with family.
Keep it 100. That's good. All right,
Keep it
coming up
100.
next.
You don't like 6'7", and you're using keep it 100?
Well, that's our generation.
I prefer authenticity.
Yeah.
We'll stick with
What the
that.
hell is 6'7"? Coming up next, I have a question for you, and I need you to be at your best, like you always are, because this will be used for the show tomorrow.
Oh, geez, a lot of pressure here.
All right, so don't screw this one up. All right, buddy?
Yeah, no problem, Squirt.
All right. Also, we welcome an old friend into town Friday. What is more likely, that he makes a play or his emotions get the best of him? It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right. Appetizer before I get to the main crux of the conversation here. When you do my show for me tomorrow. All right?
Man, you are just leaning into that.
The appetizer, actually food related. What is on Andrew DeCecco's plate on Thanksgiving?
Everything.
Well, he already said that he tries
No, I know,
everything.
but like what's
Turkey,
like
stuffing, mashed potatoes, green beans, pumpkin pie later, salad. Yeah, I mean, pretty much roll, everything.
nice?
But I am not somebody who I'm not picky.
You and I are a lot alike when it comes to that.
What's the craziest thing you've ever eaten?
Cow brain.
Nice. Kangaroo patties.
Nice. That's awesome.
Have you ever eaten cow tongue?
No.
Yes.
I've not
Lengua.
had-
It's
I
called
have.
lengua. I've had lengua
Yes,
tacos.
I have
not had
not
that.
I was not a fan,
I loved it.
but I tried it. My wife loves it. I did not.
I got it
I
from
once-
a Russian supermarket. It was cheap.
The Jamaicans love it.
Yeah, I just
have
fried
you
it
ever had
up.
a pig feet?
Yes. And pig ear.
Pig feet, pig
No,
ear.
I've never had that.
Pig
But
ear.
I have had a
Don't
camel.
run to eat. Don't run to eat it.
I've had a camel burger.
That's nice.
Oh
That
my
was pretty
gosh.
good.
That sounds. That
Where
sounds,
did you have a camel burger?
It was a place in Kennett Square. I don't desert something. It's
my
not around
gosh.
anymore. It was years ago. That was good.
Probably because they spent so much money on camel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They ran out of money.
Alligator,
Camel
shark. I've
burger.
had all kinds of stuff.
Gator's
solid.
great. I love Gator.
Shark, you don't want to.
Gator needs his gat.
A little cricket
all right.
action, too. Cricket's good.
Crickets, yeah, chocolate
Yeah,
covered
the only thing I
crickets.
don't like about the cricket is the legs get caught in your teeth.
That's why you just swallow.
I,
We
ne-
were just,
I never
we were
had
just
that.
talking
We were just
about this
talking
on
about
post-show headlines.
We did.
I never had.
Eating bugs. Yeah, we've done that.
That's where I draw the
Good
line.
protein.
I've done the bug. It's
Bear
good.
Grylls.
All right. How real are the Chicago Bears? Go.
Yeah, I think they're legitimate. And Caleb Williams is a quarterback that he's a little sporadic. He has a strong arm, and they have a very deep group of receivers. So DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Luther Burden III, Olamide Zaccheaus, they're pretty deep at wide receiver, and they have two tight ends that I think are going to, I don't want to say thrive over the middle of the field. I think they're going to be utilized. Colston Loveland, who's their first-round pick out of Michigan, tremendous talent, athletic. Cole Kmet, he was a starter for them for a while, too. That's not a bad number 2 tight end. And their offensive line, they've invested in that. So I believe that they are starting to sort of take shape there, and they have 2 running backs in Kyle Monangai, who went to Rutgers. I was at his pro day, and DeAndre Swift. And then defensively, they're really banged up at linebacker right now. We're going to have to wait and see about that. In the secondary, Gardner Johnson and Kevin Byard. At corner, they have Tyreek Stevenson and Nashawn Wright, who was actually on Last Chance U, if you remember the first season of Laney College. Rest in peace to John Beam, their coach,
just passed.
who passed away. And then on the defensive line, they have Montez Sweat, who's always a force, but they don't have a lot there in terms of their defensive line. So on paper, it would seem to be that the Eagles should be able to pounce. Hopefully that Cliff Notes version of what I just gave you is helpful for you.
So my follow-up is when you hear people say that they might be a fraudulent 8-win team, or that they remind me of the Commanders from last year, and they can win a playoff game, but that might be it. Like, what is your response to somebody saying, yeah, I don't know how real they are. We'll see the second half, because their schedule gets tough with the Eagles. They play the Lions twice still, right?
No.
Once?
Do they?
Packers twice.
Packers twice,
twice.
Lions once. So what is your response to somebody that says that?
Have you watched them? I mean, they're not a powerhouse by any measure, but they are a team that can put up points. They are a team that is believing in their young quarterback. I think Ben Johnson knows how to push all the right buttons. Defensively, I think they leave a lot to be desired. But offensively, with their 2-headed rushing attack, their 2 tight ends, and their group of 4 receivers, I think that they have proven throughout the season that they can put up points. Now, they are an inconsistent offense, but they're for real. They're for real. And I viewed them this season as a team that I thought was going to be intriguing, but I didn't think they were quite ready yet to make a dent in their division. But they've proven me wrong thus far. We'll see. They're a really young football team, and I think that they have a lot of players to build around. I think they are for real.
2 keys to victory with the Bears that I can give you. Shut them out early, because the only quarter where they have a positive point differential is the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So if you keep them down early, that's been their losses. They've been kept down early. And also, if you don't turn the ball over, they're the best turnover team in the league at taking it away from you.
Right.
Is that if you don't turn the ball over with them in the games where you haven't given them the ball, they don't win. The games where they win is where they get the turnover. So if you can keep from turning the ball over, which seems to be an Eagles' strength, this seems to be a pretty good matchup on paper.
Yeah, and I look at the linebacker situation, guys, and I can't help.
All three were out on Sunday.
Right, and we'll see about Ruben Hypolite, who was Maryland. I was at his pro day as well. Nice player.
Wearing a nice Maryland Terps T-shirt.
Yeah, I'm a Terps guy. They show love there. Mike Loxley, their head coach, coached Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith. He was the offensive coordinator at Alabama in 2018. But, yes, I think because of their situation at linebacker, it lends itself to a big Dallas Goedert game. I think that he should be able to feast over the middle of the field. Whether or not that actually materializes or not remains to be seen. But I like that matchup quite a bit.
All right, you know the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. So,
yeah, that's the first time I heard it.
Have you ever done that?
Well, I'm just wondering, Connor, did you record all that?
No, I did not.
I led him to water. Like, we're going to play this tomorrow.
Well, the funny thing is things are always recording, so I can just
That's
go
pretty
ahead and
good.
pull that.
Yeah, I just gave you a lot of really good insight and perspective.
Always be listening.
What if the system shuts down? Would it be the first time at this joint?
So earbuds, is that what I'm getting if I have the earbuds in the 5K?
You'll hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll hear DeCheco's
I can repeat
voice.
that. The Bears are real.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is solid.
All
Dallas Goedert game.
What's more likely to happen? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson makes a play, or his emotions get the best of him tomorrow?
Wow, this is a good one because I think both things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say CJ makes a play.
Okay.
I think
played really well for him.
I have to imagine that the directives from Ben Johnson are going to be like, go out there, fly around, don't let your emotions get the best of you and hurt the team.
Which he's bound to do.
Can we just say this a little bit louder? CJ Gardner-Johnson is on the Chicago Bears because if I get another text this week, what is CJ Gardner-Johnson still available? We've got
really?
He's not still available. He hasn't been available for a while.
By the way, I will always root for him. Not this week, but I'm always going to root. Like I'm happy to see him have success.
He's played really well.
He has 3 sacks for them. He had 3 sacks in his first 2 games with the team. So.
He's obviously a problem for teams to have around, but he is a talented player.
Some say they should never have gotten rid of him, but you know.
Well,
let's not.
They
live in
weren't
the
feeling
past
that
here.
way. They weren't feeling that way.
All right, what do we got in the text line, Connor, on any of our topics that we've had today?
All right. Do you want football or Thanksgiving? Because we have a lot of people checking in
How
on the
about
weirdness with the meals.
Then meals.
Okay, let's start out with that.
Because that's what I care more about, right?
All right. Well, we have a texter checking in here who says that buffet-style food never makes me feel bad about not eating everything. I pick and choose what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I think the big difference with Thanksgiving
somebody
is.
took the time to make it.
Same with Golden Corral. Doesn't mean I eat everything.
Okay.
That's different. Yeah, we're
You're
splitting
eating at a
hairs here.
restaurant.
This is family. Like you know the person. Like you are breaking bread with this person, and yet you don't want the bread that they're trying to break.
What if I'm not a bread guy? What if I'm gluten-free?
I honestly, I never thought he'd align with you on this one, Andrew DeCheco.
Well,
And
good people.
And I am
we're good people, so
I'm
he
just
should have known.
surprised.
Good names.
I'm just
good
surprised.
football guys.
Yeah.
Good food.
We have
people.
morals. Yeah, you know, just
It
all
sounds
those
like
things.
something.
Integrity.
It's that you are truly one of the most stubborn people I know.
That's fair.
And it just shocks
That's
me.
fair.
And it shocks me that you were like, but you're just so. He is a pleaser. So
Yeah, so
it
you
doesn't
have it,
shock me.
You have it right. I am
But you're
stubborn.
not a pleaser. He's not a
All right.
pleaser.
What's
I've been
not the
called worse.
worst thing? What's
Well, I
something
already told you that freaking green bean casserole thing.
All right.
I love green beans. There's no reason to ruin green beans with like a sauce and soup and goop.
You mean to tell me if I brought in a green bean casserole one
I'm not
day
eating
from
it.
you wouldn't eat it?
No, I'm not
I
touching
would.
it.
Thank
I'm
you.
not touching it.
Thank you. I
Anything
appreciate
with
you.
yams.
Because you took
yams.
time and you were thoughtful enough to bring it
I'm
in
not
when you
eating
didn't have to do that.
Marshmallows.
I don't like yams either, but you know what's going to be on my plate? Yams. You know why?
No, wait,
'Cause
did they
somebody
put-
freaking took the time
did
to
they
make
put
the yams.
marshmallows
yes,
on it and
and I
stuff
don't
like that?
like it. I'm telling you right now. Hey, sister-in-law, I don't like the yams with the
Marshmallows?
With the marshmallows.
Let me
But
ask
I'm
you
gonna
this,
eat
John.
it.
Let's say you spent a lot of time making something and you were really proud of it, and
Okay.
you bring it to a family get-together and you let it just sit there and you see that no one's really touched it. How are you going to feel?
I'm going to feel like
You're going to
I
feel
did-
terrible.
I'm going to feel like I need to make something better next time that people actually want to eat.
No, you're
I
going
honestly-
to say, hey, I don't know if you guys saw that, but
No,
No.
I would be the exact opposite.
They didn't even try it.
I would be the exact opposite to not bring it up. I'd be going, man, just pick it up. hide it, and dump it.
Well, it
and
depends.
I'm never making it again.
It all depends on how much time we'd have left in the segment for them to try it.
Yeah.
He's got my nerves.
You can take shots. I can take shots, Sonny.
Pipe down, buddy.
Lighten up, Francis.
It's a shame that it's just me and him tomorrow.
Hey, have a good day, please.
Yeah, thanks. Enjoy your
Have a good
Friday.
Right there for me. I had to take it.
Yes.
Coming up
Unlike
next.
those yams.
I'll see you.
Coming up next.
Good one, sport.
Maybe Connor will do the rest of the show.
Yeah, let's just hand
You
it
want
over
to
to
dip out
Connor.
early? Go get a beer?
Well, it's early.
Hand it over to
maybe
Connor.
get brunch or something.
You can have a beer for lunch.
And you got to try everything at the brunch.
Well,
If somebody took the
if
time.
family, yeah, if somebody
Well,
took
somebody
the time.
took the time. I mean,
All right.
You see, John, you really disappointed me today. I'm not upset. I am disappointed.
Coming up next, the 3 and outs are ugly for the Eagles. No matter who you want to blame, it's got to freaking stop. Just how bad is it when it comes to history? I'll take you way back, and I'll also tell you how much Thanksgiving Day dinner cost the year we go back to. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. It is 9:42 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right.
When you start giggling before you do something, it always makes me laugh.
Well, because it's
you start giggling before you even address it.
Because sometimes, like, I have to laugh so I don't cry about things. Because the Eagles
on a very special blossom.
The 3 and outs is
awful.
It's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, it's not great.
Worst in 11 years going into last weekend of any team.
No matter who you want to put the blame on, because as you always say, Andrew, it is a collective. Regardless, it's bad. All right, and to me, when we asked our main question today for the audience was whether or not you believe the best football is still ahead of the Eagles or if the best football is behind them. By the way, we actually put a poll up today, which we don't normally do.
A morning poll.
54% believe the best football is behind us and 46% still to come. So
I'd be curious to hear. I mean, obviously we don't know, but I'd be curious to hear what their rationale was behind it.
Right.
You know?
That would be nice. And we have had. Do we have any text messages on that question, Connor?
Yeah, we do. We have a check-in from earlier on in the show where Mike from Virginia says, "Love that we're 8-3, but the offense isn't going to change. It's fixable, but not this year. Even if we brought in a consultant, the in-the-moment play calling is the issue, and that's not changing. The best we can do is get the calls in faster, give Hurt some time to try an audible if he sees something, and give the O-line a slight edge."
So one of my things earlier today, because I'm more on the side of the best is behind us.
Okay.
And the reason being is when I go back to 2023, I'm not saying they're going to go 1-5 in the rest of the way. Like, I don't believe that. But the Eagles' offense that year was winning games because they needed to put up 30 points, right? You look at the first 11 games, a lot of their wins was 30-27, right? 27-24.
Right.
Like, they had to win those shootout games because the defense was that bad. Do I believe the 2025 Eagles offense is as bad as the 2023 Eagles defense? I do not believe that. But do I believe the defense can hold teams into the teens week in and week out? I don't believe they could do that, especially when the offense has the 3-and-out percentage that they have.
Do you think the Eagles' 2023 defensive coaching is worse than the Eagles' 2025 offensive coaching? Isn't that the question? Shouldn't that really be the question?
It's a pretty interesting question.
I mean,
Desai was a disaster.
Well, this offense is
the
3
defense
and outs
under Desai, to John's point, performed better
than the offense.
Had better moments than the offense has had this year.
So that's an interesting question,
It's
John.
been 11 years. Remember, going into Sunday, it was 11 years since a team had this percentage of 3-and-outs.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting.
I mean, so to me, that's the bigger question. Is that But I think the talent is there.
Right.
Yeah. This is all. I believe this is all working out.
Point is, what I'm trying to make is I don't think the defense can continuously win by keeping teams to under 20 points, like every single
No,
week.
that's
And we saw it
unrealistic, and
last week.
it's also unfair to expect and demand that every single week. I said this before: the offense has to pick up the tab, and be able to hold up their end of the bargain.
Now they're going to have to not have as many 3-and-outs as a start because the defense will be tired, especially with all these injuries. So, Benjamin Solak of ESPN did the research.
Okay.
The Eagles' 3-and-out rate this year is 30.8%. Almost 31% of their drives, so almost a third of their drives in the 2025 season has resulted to a 3-and-out. That's horrible, right? There's no sugarcoating that.
Terrible.
So he went back and looked for teams that had a plus winning percentage with a percentage of 3-and-outs in that same ballpark in history. He had to go back to 1984.
A different sport. It was a completely different sport.
And it was the 1984 Denver Broncos who finished the year 13-3.
But it was a different sport. Like, there's no 84 football to 2025 football. It doesn't even look
I get what
the
you're
same.
saying.
It doesn't even look the same. The approach of the game and everything like that.
Now, they lost in the first round of the playoffs, by the way,
Right.
just to make that clear. So hopefully that's not the case for the Eagles. He had to go back to 1984 to find something this drastically bad for a team that has a plus winning record, which is crazy. That's why they're the most confusing 8-3 team in the league.
Yeah, it's not good. Those numbers aren't good. A lot of that, when you're behind the sticks, and it's 1st and 25, which I just mentioned, you can't run the football, penalties, and then, yes, unimaginative play calling. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Now, would you guys like to know what the cost of Thanksgiving dinner was in 1984?
I'm going to say.
I was alive for it.
I'm going to say $8.75.
All right.
$31.
Well, we'll go bit by bit. How much was a turkey in 1984?
$11.
I would have said
$15.
10.
Price is Right rules. You win, John. $12.33.
Man.
You know he was on the prices.
I'm going the show.
No.
I'm going.
$12.33.
That's how you get on the prices
This
right.
year, the turkey is averaging out at $57.
That's so ridiculous.
Oh, man.
For not
What
even
is that, an organic turkey?
Yeah, I mean, come on now.
All right.
Who's paying $57
Mashed
for turkey?
potatoes.
Potatoes.
The I don't know for how many servings,
Yeah, I
but
mean-
the average
Yeah, see,
cost.
this is a little
You
dicey.
can't do these.
What, like $3?
$5.
$4.
$5.
It was $2.51.
Okay.
Now $13.27.
Where are you buying potatoes? Like, I mean, that's
You don't do the grocery shopping, so you wouldn't
No,
know.
but I mean, no,
You
but
don't do the grocery shopping, John? I feel like we should set aside a segment for
I
this.
do not do any of that.
I feel like,
No, I do not do the grocery shopping.
wow.
No, Christina does the grocery
All
shopping.
right.
While you're watching soap operas?
Well, she can do whatever. She watches along with me.
a can of cranberry sauce that serves 10 people.
A
What?
can of cranberry sauce.
Yeah, like the can that comes
The,
out.
the gelatin
You can-
one?
Yeah, you can see
Okay.
the lines.
By the way,
$3.
by the way, I like that. Oh, 68 cents.
Should be free. That stuff's crap.
68
I agree
cents
with you,
back
Connor.
in the
It's
day.
the first time I actually agree with you today in anything. 1984, what was your guess?
68 cents.
$3.
Free.
You technically win.
Yes, sir.
22 cents.
Wow.
Now,
I just have no feel for the prices right.
now $5.30.
Oh, my gosh. It's not.
From 22 cents to $5.30. All right, stuffing, same thing. The box of stuffing
Well, that's not stuffing.
that serves 10 people. 1984, it costs what?
$1.29.
$2.75.
I'll go $3.
$3.16.
Oh, my gosh.
Nowadays, $12.45.
That's incredible.
To
And it's
serve
not
10
stuffing.
people.
That's dressing. We had that discussion yesterday.
Sweet potato casserole.
Oof.
1984 cost. Go ahead.
$6.
I'm going to
Because
say,
you got to buy dessert and put it on top of vegetables.
I'll say $5.
I'll go $7.50.
$8.74.
Wow. Good job, Connor.
If you are a sweet potato casserole fan, you're in luck.
It got cheaper?
Not over time. It's $12.51, but as of 2021, it was $24.55 because I think there was something with the sweet potatoes during COVID.
Potato
yeah.
famine or something. Yeah, they were telling
There
you.
was something, yeah.
Remember they were
COVID
telling you
related.
you could only eat dinner with like 6 people? Yeah, it was part of that.
Oh, yeah.
Can't have sweet potatoes.
The green bean
Thanks, Dr. Fauci.
casserole.
Yes.
Now, this I found very interesting. I love that we have so many different backgrounds that are a part of our show today. I have seen that a lot of the white people are fans of the casserole, and our black listeners are not fans of casserole and don't even know what it is. A lot of the great responses that we have seen on social media and on YouTube, it's like, what do you guys do with this casserole thing?
It's terrible.
So 1984, it was how much?
$4.
$3.
I'll go $6.50.
$4.80. So John, you win. 2025, $8.83. It has gone down.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't eat it if I was being held by, Al Qaeda.
I'm still trying to understand how you don't do
I'm starving.
you don't help your wife
He
food
doesn't.
shop. You don't
No,
ever.
no, she doesn't want my help.
Well,
She
you
would
don't
tell
ever
you,
like trade.
Andrew,
Hey, you
Andrew,
do
she
it this week. I'll do it next week.
No, I'm at work. I'm at work right
Well,
now.
I mean, that's
I'm at
5
work
hours.
right now. I'm at work
That's
right
5
now.
hours of the day. There's
we
a
do
lot
get
of
done
day
at
left.
10 a.m.
I'm at work right now.
Yeah, you get
She
done at
gets
10
in-
a.m. You do
she's like-
post-show headlines.
and
You're
she
done. You're
doesn't
out of here
want-
at
and
10:20.
She doesn't want my help with it. She would say to you, Andrew, don't do me any favors. I don't want his help. I want to do it. She's Monica from Friends.
By the way,
she wants to control. She likes her own domain.
215J Philly in response to the casserole, he said, yeah, you got that about right. All right, tell us about life-saving cancer
I'm going to tell you first, Lions -2.5. I'm taking Lions -2.5 tomorrow.
All right.
It's one of my 4 picks. So if you guys are making picks tomorrow, Lions -2.5 is one of my 4 picks this week. Life-saving cancer research is on the table. Window Nation made a donation to the AACR, and you can too. Go to 975thefanatic.com/AACR because I'm living proof that cancer research saves lives.
Johnny, good luck on the turkey trot. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, John,
Happy
good luck, man.
See you
Andrew,
Friday.
happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Connor and I are on the air tomorrow, so we'll be here from 6 to 10. Some of us aren't taking off. So if you are going to be paying attention and listening to the show, thank you. If you are taking a day off from Sports Talk Radio tomorrow, I don't blame you. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.